Three, two, one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Airing It Out podcast live. I am your host, Dustin Marion, my partner in crime, Hollow Clutch. If you like it, like it. If you love it, subscribe to it. Please, we're just trying to get that custom URL so we can stop sending, 400 characters just so that somebody can watch our show. But without further ado, my partner in crime, Hollow, what is up, buddy?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Let's do it, baby.
I'm excited,
listen,
man.
You sound like we're on draft day. Is it draft day? Is it the day that people get disillusioned about their franchise?
Yes, where GMs get fired and coaches pull their hair out.
All right, so there's a lot to unpack right out the gate with the NFL. But we were talking off air. Is Zach Wilson the guy to you? I know you don't watch that much tape. Did you take a peeksy poo at Homeboy at all?
I saw a little bit of highlights, but I'm always confused of how I get it. Like, you get some of these guys who come out and they are like, a Big Ben or, some of these like gems, but like these high rated quarterbacks, for whatever reason, they just always fall down. Like, look at Lamar. He was the Heisman winner in college. He won the 25th. Then you got Patrick Mahomes who comes up. He's doing a bunch of yards. You had Josh Rosen, who got overdrafted a couple of years ago. And now Zach Wilson's coming out of nowhere. I found it weird. Justin Fields, if I'm not mistaken, they won a chip. Trevor Lawrence was the number one. From what I heard, Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, since they came out the same draft class and coming up the same at the high school, they were always the 1 and 2 number players in the whole nation. And I find it weird that Justin Fields supposedly might drop in the draft. And I'm like, why do all these championship caliber players in general always fall? Like, it's a weird thing to me. I don't know.
Well, it's interesting. So I don't know if you heard on the wire. I want to talk about it because I think that a lot of this has to do with race, and it's extremely fascinating to me. First of all, shout out to Max Kellerman for coming out and using his platform and saying like he doesn't really understand how. First of all, let's take some shots as Zach Wilson. Number one, you never won a chip. Number two,
True.
You never won a Heisman. Okay, so by that standard alone, you shouldn't be the number 2 overall pick. The number 2 overall pick should be Justin Fields. The guy won a Heisman and a championship, and that was in back-to-back years. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Trevor Lawrence goes to 2 national titles, and wins 2 or 1, right? For the most part. So these guys are slam dunks. Now you get some guy out of BYU who's like 190 soaking wet. Obviously he can play ball, but he's playing with lesser competition. I looked at the tape on him. He never looks underdressed. He never really looks like his offensive line is under pressure. And so Kellerman doesn't understand. So they took what's my man's name? Mitch Trubisky over Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. That's fucking crazy, right? And now Justin Fields, to be the number 2 overall guy, gets dropped all the way down. Now they're talking about him going 15 to the Patriots, which sounds alarming. And then when you also look at Lamar Jackson, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Lamar Jackson was going to be a little bit of a project, but there was no doubt about it. When you watch this guy, he could fucking score. And it wasn't just with his wheels. When he was in Louisville, he was scoring in the air. He threw for like 40 touchdowns the year that he came out. Again, a black quarterback, trending downwards, the 32nd overall pick, and there was guys like Sam Darnold was going to be out of the league, right?
You had Jackson, Lamar Jackson. They were telling him to switch positions. They were telling him to be a wide receiver or running back. They were telling him that he should come into the league and switch positions or try out as a wide receiver. And he was like, no. His mom was like, no, I'm a quarterback, and I'm going to stick to this way. Right, so far, I think it has turned out to be the right choice. But I don't know if you heard about this. We got Bucky Brooks was saying that the Ravens should draft Justin Fields. And you give Lamar already his 5th-year option. You let him play this out. And either 1, you trade him, or 2, you let him walk. And seeing Lamar's shortcomings in the postseason, you can see why.
You thinking I'll be honest with you, not to interrupt you. I thought it was, take away the, like we always, like people like to say in the real world, or when they're really scrutinizing players, take the name off the jersey, right? from a financial perspective, it kind of makes sense
Mhm.
because we've talked about it all the time. A lot of high paid guys don't win, right? And
Nope.
so, first of all, Lamar Jackson is beyond talented. He might
Yep.
be one of the best scrambling quarterbacks. I'm not going to say running. Call him a scramble quarterback because running almost makes it seem like you don't
Yeah,
fucking
they can't do nothing else.
stupid. You're one of the best scrambling quarterbacks, if not since Vic, better than Vic,
Mhm.
right? And he takes none of the big hits.
Yeah.
He's extremely he has a pocket presence, better than we've ever seen. And homeboy got wheels, he got moves, he hits A, B, box, square, triangle, whatever buttons he's pressing.
Boy,
Yo,
play Madden.
yeah. But and I'm gonna let you get back in. But I thought that from Brooks's perspective of on a financial thing, it kind of makes sense. And he later argued that is it going to be a thing now where maybe as a new concept, like let's say it's the money ball
Yep.
of football, where I can win or I can be competitive with a guy who can be mobile. I don't need this Super Bowl quarterback right out the gate, right? And I mean, listen, the Ravens haven't won a Super Bowl, but they've been really fucking close. And it's not their fault that they run into a buzzsaw called the Chiefs or the buzzsaw called, the Buffalo Bills. And in a large respect, you know, the quarterback in Buffalo was kind of his running mate in the sense of he got taken first, Josh Allen, and then Lamar gets taken next. So I thought from a money situation, it made sense. But please continue.
If they all right, if they go get Julio Jones, let's say for instance, and he still struggles to throw the ball in the outside numbers, the writing's on the wall. Like there's no more need to keep trying to force a narrative. It has nothing to do with black, white, purple, green, Spanish, nothing. Because even Mark Sanchez struggled, and those teams got that to the NFC, 2 AFC title games back to back. So it's all about ability to play and to be a playmaker. Now Lamar Jackson is leaps and bounds way better than Mark Sanchez could ever dream of being. And I'm not trying to make them the same comparison. I'm just saying that when you have a quarterback who can't throw outside the numbers, you struggle, especially when it comes to the postseason. And he every year, don't get me wrong, I think we also in this hyperbolic thing where we don't let any players mature and grow. And this is going to be Lamar's 4th year. We can't take that away. He's 30-7. It's all about winning football games, and he's doing that. But now you got to also too, Lamar, you got to take the next big leap coming this season. You already seen the Rams make a mistake. You seen Detroit make a mistake. You seen the Eagles make a mistake. I hope my Giants don't make the mistake and overpay Daniel Jones. We should haven't even drafted him. But you don't know what I get it. It's a 50-50, but take the highest rated player, take the player who wins the most. And Bucky Brooks has a point. You got Tom Brady, he keeps just stacking the chips, stacking them up, stacking them up, stacking them up, stacking them up. And if Patrick Mahomes wants to do what Brady does, you got to take less. You just have to.
He already restructured that deal.
No, for sure. But I'm just saying,
that's the only way you're gonna win. That's the only way you're gonna win. And some people argue that Brady cheated. Another thing to cheat on him because he kept restructuring deals so that he wasn't the highest paid guy on the team at the time.
But he's smart because you know what he does though? He goes, Rolex, you pay me $25 million. Aston Martin, you give me $50 million. Uggs, you give me $60 million. As long as you're winning, you're gonna the advertisement is always gonna be there, and you can go and get the money from these brands. Like when his contract is up, Patrick Mahomes is gonna go to Nike and probably get a big ass Nike deal or an Adidas deal eventually. He has the future's bright for him. So he can get all that endorsement money on the outside. And I would be talking to the Chiefs management or the Chief ownership and say, yo, what you investing in? Because I'm investing in that shit too. I'm staying here for the next 15, 16, 17 years. I'm gonna get my money up that way. Like you could get that, like it's illegal for them to give you money to go and invest it. But all these guys are talking in the same circles with billionaires and multi-millionaires anyway. So you can make all that money off the field. Like stack the chips and you get all the bread off the field.
I couldn't agree more, but I still think that there is a component to being colored in the sport. Before I kick that rock over, first of all, I think that even if he has, let's say, inaccuracy issues. He's on a team. I was just arguing with this with shout out to Uncle Salty. Tell me who his running back is. Tell me who his wide receiver. Tell me
But
who his D
J.K.
end.
Dobbins had a good.
I get it. I'm not. Listen. First of all, we're junkies, right? So of course we can answer those questions. But I'm talking about to the average Joe, right? Like he's playing in an offense that basically Michael Vick ran in the early 2000s, right? Which is play action, strong running game, and we use multiple tight ends. And then when everybody pulls up, we could throw a deep bomb, and we have the speed. But it's not like he has a Julio Jones or he has anybody really, really compelling. I mean, they haven't really supported him with the cast on offense, and on defense they fire sale every season. Now Ozzie Newsome doesn't seem, with his history, like a guy who pays dudes, right? He kept Ray Lewis on, he kept T Sizzle on, and he kept Bart Scott on, but that wasn't for long. Those guys moved. I mean, they figured out a printing press on how to maximize draft picks. Right, because everybody thought they were crazy to take Lamar Jackson at 32. That almost seemed like ridiculous, but the guy's electrifying, right?
Yep.
I just think that he needs to get more, right? Because even their running back situation is suspect, right? Also, I believe that the offensive line is garbage. When I see a quarterback running for his fucking life every play, it makes me nervous, right? A la Deshaun Watson, a la Russell Wilson. Like, they don't provide, because you have scramble ability, it's almost like, well, we're not going to spend the money on the offensive line. Now, I think, like I said, taking the name off the jersey, it makes sense. Like, to flip it on its head, I don't know why we're so star crazy for QBs. I'd rather play 500 ball for 10 years and have a stacked squad, get a good system in place, stay with the same coaching staff, same front office group, right? A la, again, Steelers, Green Bay, Giants. For the most part, most of the pieces are there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, if a quarterback lands on your lap, that's great. Now it's crazy that Bucky brings that out. Harbaugh already came out and said they're going to pick up his 5th-year option,
which is a no-brainer,
right? But at the same token, like, even if he was phenomenal at passing, did I lock you down for $35 million a year? I mean, look at what Dak Prescott just got. Mm-hmm. Dak Prescott is going to hamstring the Dallas Cowboys bringing in anybody else, right?
Well, the thing is, too, is
it's kind of handicapped because they got the highest paid running back, the highest paid wide receiver, and the highest paid quarterback all on the same fucking team.
Yeah, and the issue with the when it comes to the reason why Dak got $40 million is because, remember, the new TV deal kicks in next year or the following year, one of these, and then $40 million is going to be $25 million for starting quarterbacks.
I get that. Yeah,
so, like,
for sure.
When Jimmy G got the $25 million deal, everybody was like, "Oh shit, he's getting paid ridiculous money." And at that time, that was top 5 QB money. And then you had Matt Ryan come, and you had Matthew Stafford, Russell Wilson. You had
Jared Goff.
You had Jared Goff. You have Wentz. You have is this next quarterback up? And it kind of sucks because quarterback is always get paid on potential and on past do things if you win. So like Mahomes got paid the bread because he won MVP already, and then he won a Super Bowl, and then he got back to another Super Bowl. Like that's showing something. But Lamar, for whatever reason, he just can't throw outside the numbers. Can't throw deep outside the numbers. Everything's over the middle, play action, and I hope he takes another step.
I was talking, shout out to Harrison Glazer from Take Flight Media. I was talking to him, and he said he was high on Lamar, but he brought up an interesting point why he believes that guys like Justin Fields and Matt Jones are kind of either going up or going down in the draft value in their draft stock because these guys play within systems. We don't really know. I mean, and you're probably going to assassinate me for this, but we don't really know if they allow him to do those throws, right? Like they might look at it and say these are a low percentage passing situation because they're running the same offense from Greg Roman is the offensive coordinator. Greg Roman was also the offensive coordinator on the Niners. Yeah. The Niners weren't a fucking like when he was there a complex offense. They ran the same shit.
Yeah, Colin had the arm to throw deep. Like you see these guys in practice. You don't think these guys call post route go routes and 25-yard comeback routes in practice? They probably see it in practice, and he probably gets picked off a lot, or the ball gets batted down a lot, or he throws it too high, or he throws it too inside, or he overthrows him. Who knows? Maybe he overthrows him. But they're gonna put you in the best. Coaches put you in the best position to strive. These guys are not gonna handicap him if he can't make these throws, and it's being 3 years in. You know.
I've also seen him make throws, and the guys just don't catch it too.
True.
So it's not. And Hollywood Brown is like fucking my size. You know what I mean? If not smaller.
Yeah, but Odell's short. Antonio Brown is short.
First of all, you can't bring Odell because Odell is like a phenom. I mean, the guy's jump, vertical is through the roof. Like
there's not a lot of tall receivers who are like. There's not a lot of. I would say there's small receivers who dominate. Well, relatively small. Well, 5'9", 5'10", that dominate. Look at Tyreek Hill. He's 5'8", and he just fucking 5'7".
Tyreek don't have fucking Hollywood Brown speed.
True.
Hollywood Brown doesn't have Tyreek speed.
But Hollywood Brown still has speed. That's what I'm saying.
I feel like they don't run that go route enough.
True.
Because if that was the case, they should be fucking dialing that shit up every few plays. Right? Because Patrick Mahomes, to be honest with you, when you look at him, right, and you look at the tape over the last 3 years, the Chiefs pretty much just run vertical routes and screen plays. That's all they do, really.
Mm-hmm.
And they do button hook passes with the tight end. They're not this like ridiculously complex offense. They have a lot of motion pre-snap, which makes them look complicated. But when you watch them, they don't. Patrick Mahomes is always holding the ball a little too long and looking for the deep pass.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Same thing with Russ. Russ does the same shit. Who else does the same shit? Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Right? But I mean, I don't know. I just feel. I'm just saying, like, first of all, the division is brutal. It's the cold. It's difficult. I mean, I was telling somebody this the other day. I would call, if I'm the Jets, I'd call up right now and I get him. He's proven. I'll call him right now. You get the first, you get the second. I'll give you, he's not even going to get it. He's not even worth, which is crazy, a top 5 pick. You could get Lamar Jackson for like fucking a 2 and a 3 and still keep.
Remember, he's a unanimous MVP. He's gonna demand. I think he'll demand at least one first-round pick and maybe a second-round pick,
if you give up the fourth,
or name player and
at the third for Lamar Jackson, and you still have the first pick, which the second overall pick, which you could trade back and maybe get some more stuff. I don't know. I just also, to bring in this wrinkle, I think it's crazy because this is something, because homeboy's black, right? And it always seems like situations like this. I mean, the argument came up for Dak. Dak checked all the boxes. Why was Jerry Jones holding so hard on fucking paying this guy if what you just said is true, that the TV contract is going to kick in and fucking Pepsi's going to show up and your sister's going to show up with a check and your daddy's going to show up with a check? Meanwhile, back at the ranch, you don't even want to play homie.
I think the issue is that you have, Jared Goff messed everything up. Carson Wentz messed everything up. These guys who got paid before Dak, aren't showing out. No, even like look at Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson got paid, and they lost. They were up 24-0, and then they got fucking torched. So you have a lot of these quarterbacks who got paid, and it's not working out. And
that's why I think what Bucky Brooks says makes fucking sense. I don't need to fucking, like, even with Deshaun Watson, not to throw more fucking rain on this guy's fucking parade, but right now he's overpaid. You don't win. You're overpaid.
That's the problem.
Right? So now what? Nothing against Lamar, but what? I signed you for 25, and then all of a sudden the seams start to come off. Now all of a sudden you didn't even make the vertical plays anymore. Now you don't seem to have the same gusto and the same bravado. Whatever the fuck happens, it seems like once they signed that check, right? I mean, one can argue Patrick didn't play as good as he did when he signed.
Even in the Super Bowl, he really had 2 bad Super Bowls. Even the one he won, he had a bad Super Bowl.
And also, foot injury, baby on the way. He was in every fucking commercial. He had the knee injury, right? So these are some of the things, right? But when you look at a guy like fucking Baker Mayfield, I'm like, bro, how are you getting paid? Because you ain't that good, right? You can't even. It takes all of your energy to scramble to the left to throw a pass to the left side of the field, which seems like a no-brainer, right? That's why, I mean, shit, to me, to be honest with you, we looked at our top 5 quarterbacks earlier in the season. I'm really high on Josh Allen. I know he might not check a lot of people's boxes, but he's big and strong and mobile and got a cannon. And all those things work in the cold.
Yep.
Yeah. The same thing for you guys. Daniel Jones, I'll be surprised if they don't sell him right now, because right now you guys are looking at both, depending on who you look at, whether it's Bucky's or whether Mel Kiper, you guys are gonna allegedly end up with one of the 2 receivers from Alabama.
I know, I've seen that.
So why the fuck are we? I like that. Okay, get us the right receiver, but is it gonna be the same thing like a fucking Beckham, that the guy's gonna come out eventually and be like, bro, this guy's a fucking scrub. He can't get me the rock. Right now, granted, at least Daniel's got a little bit more wheels than Eli Manning, but Eli Manning, to me, Daniel Jones is minus 2.0. Eli Manning.
It's like beta. Beta Eli Manning. He's not even a version.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, bruh, we're like, what are we doing? And then Saquon's coming off for injury. It's just like, I just feel like some of these teams are just not making sense. In my opinion, I would just trade back, and I would definitely look at the money ball situation of this game, because you're handcuffed if you put all your money to one guy.
And especially if he's not transcendent. If the guy is transcendent, like I said, Mahomes. But
that's the thing. There's only one. Name another one.
As I was saying, Mahomes. And you had Andrew Luck, but he didn't win a Super Bowl. But
no, he doesn't count. It doesn't count. I would say Andrew Luck, Russell Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers are the last 3 transcending players that we've seen in our lifetime over the last 40 years. Because all 3 of those guys got chips, and all 3 of those guys can perform without a team. Because Andrew Luck was dope, but Andrew Luck was getting rocked.
But they were winning. He didn't have one losing season.
I get you, but they also had, the what they do in Indianapolis is phenomenal. They always have the best offensive line. They always have the best defensive line.
They just got the best offensive line. He had the worst offensive line when he was there.
I get it.
They made him retire.
Overall, the history of the Colts as an organization, they get good players.
Yeah.
They're not an organization that put out scrubs. It's just
that's not... like once the Colts got a good offensive line, he retires. Like when they were right there.
But the thing is, too, is that it's like you're fucked when you're a good quarterback. If you got wheels or if you're strong, it's like the organization is like, well, we don't really got to look at that. He can handle him.
Yep.
Right? Because Russell Wilson doesn't have a fucking offensive line.
Yeah.
And look, to put up another, we'll get that into the sports. I wanted to talk to you really quickly, because last week we talked about it and you said it's fucking impossible to vet all the fucking video. But again, we have a situation in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. I'll say his name, Andrew Brown, gets shot 5 times. One, from what I've gathered, looks like he was pretty much shot in the back of the head. And right now, North Carolina is there's civil unrest, which there should be, because they don't want to release the footage to the public. Now, my question is 2-parter. Is the media really doing a horrible job trying to pin us against each other? Because that's what it seems like they're trying to do. And what should be the protocol in a shooting with releasing video to the public?
If they haven't released a video, that means there's something more to it than if they're not. Because
the FBI, by the way, is looking into this.
Yeah, because if
the FBI has ever even got involved in a shooting or in a police civilian
there's been other instances.
I'm saying to date, like recently, because the Floyd shit, no one got involved. The Freds didn't get involved. The dude in ATL didn't get involved. The guy that got shot in his back getting into the driver's side of the seat car didn't get involved. There's been a lot of shootings. The Minnesota shit. So this is actually the first time in recent.
Because I guess the fact that they haven't released the footage yet is the reason why. I think the FBI is, because that sounds like fishy business. If it's a good shooting, right? Like the one last week was with Ma'Khia Bryant. I thought it was a good shooting. I thought the cop did a fantastic job for what was dealt in front of him. As long as it's video and they released it right away, they was full transparent. Like, look, listen, this woman was about to stab 2 people. The cop had to take her down. Instead of it being cop kills black teen, it should have been cop saves black teen. And that wasn't the narrative. The narrative was the total opposite. And then that's why I was like, you have to wait and to gather all the information in order to then come out with your assessment. So now that you're saying that here there's no video, that's fishy to me. That shows that there's something going on, that cop probably fucked up, and they whatever they did was wrong. That's what it's looking like if there's no video.
Right, but now this is the problem. The Derek Shaw case, I always say Chauvin, excuse me, I always say that guy's name wrong. which doesn't matter because he doesn't even fucking deserve it for me to say his name right. But Derek Chauvin case, I feel like the way the news led the narrative on that, we were led to believe like, oh, okay, so now with this happening, this is going to be like a score in the side for justice and things are going to change and reform. Bro, there's been massive shootings by police, even during the trial. Now, granted, there's a lot more eyeballs, there's a lot more media, and the media is driving this narrative like a motherfucker. But it just seems like, I know.
That's the real thing. Is if there's spotlight on it, it's just like when you're driving around and say, "Yo, I don't really see orange cars," and the next thing you know, you're looking for orange cars and you see 75 orange cars. If you're paying attention to something and something's constantly be throwing in your face, you notice it.
I get that.
That's the only reason why.
It's getting alarming, bro. It's getting alarming. There's been like 10 shootings.
That's still nothing.
I get that, but when you look at the vids, these guys are getting killed for nothing.
No, Ma'Khia Bryant deserved to be shot.
She's not. I wouldn't put her in. I would still say she's in a gray area.
No,
only because
black and white, bro. She wants to try to stab somebody, and you gotta take out the threat.
No, I'm not, I get that part. Okay, that seems to be the overall public opinion. But in my opinion, bro, first of all, even if Homeboy wanted to subdue her, he was like, nah, it wasn't gonna happen. She was bigger than him. She was bigger than him.
Well, the situation, we were talking about the situation.
Like police are scared to fucking get in fights with people. And the first answer is, we're going to shoot you.
No, I mean, but we'll agree. Again, we can agree to disagree on this.
Of course. That's the
point. Me, I'm going by numbers, facts, and data.
Listen, I was going to get you onto this numbers, facts, and data. So, in 2018, let's just lower it so it's even. 1,000 killed by police. Forget about what color they were. 100 police killed by us. If you compound that over 10 years, that's 10,000 people to 1,000.
Now we compound, but also compound all the traffic stops.
50 million. It's 50 million stops over the course of a year that they deal with.
So 50 million over 10 years. That's over 1 billion stops. I mean, that's 500 million stops over 5 years or 10 years. It's five. Yeah. Let's say 50 million every year times 10 years. That's 500 million stops. Now, let's say you said 10,000 people died. 500,000 people, 500 million people, and 10,000 people died for the cops. That's nothing. That's throwing water into the ocean and saying, I'm going to wet the water. Like, it's...
I get that. I just feel like that's what we're doing, and we're saying it's like, a byproduct of having this. But it just doesn't seem like in these cities, the police are trained to handle...
But they're not
like problematic problems, like situations.
The very small, rare instances where like the people aren't just walking down the street and a cop rolls up on them and shoots them. That's not how this is going down.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of hard.
Show me a video of a guy just walking regular and they shoot him. There hasn't been one. There's always. So how come the black sergeant, a couple weeks ago didn't get shot by the police? They're not just walking around just shooting people. It doesn't work like that. It's very small. It's like maybe less than 10. That is an unarmed black person or an unarmed minority. Dante Wright resisted arrest, jumped in his car, reached over to the side. The girl said she was gonna tase him. She shot him. That was a horrible thing on her thing on her side. But what happens if he just gets arrested, gets a fucking fine, comes out in 2-3 hours, and then has to deal with it at 6 months in court? He would have been fine. But no, he resisted arrest. Jacob Blake, he had a restraining order against the woman that he wants to go pull up on. He's in the back of the car. He resists arrest from 5 cops, gets to the driver's seat of the car, reaches over to the other side, has a knife in his hand. What do you want these cops to do if these guys are not just get arrested?
I understand that.
People are walking around getting shot. That's the false narrative that the media is doing.
I see white guys fucking peddling knives all the time, and they get apprehended. We have mass shooting.
That's not true. If you go right now and post white guy shot by cop, it's videos of that. But that's not the narrative. That's the issue.
Okay, so then apparently the media is really fucking stroking this shit.
Of course they are. Of course
that's why I believe, and I know you're not going to agree with this, every shooting should be public.
Yes, I agree with that. I totally agree.
Put that shit up. Release. There shouldn't be no discussion.
Yeah,
We paid
full
you
yeah,
technically.
it's
Yeah.
full transparency. Like the Micaiah Bryant thing, when everybody's fucking losing their mind. Said, let me see the video. So the video, I had no issue with it. The Dante
But the
Wright
thing
thing.
is, fucking the you know, a PD, I mean not PD, the news outlets, they edited that shit, right, and dropped one version, and then they dropped another version, and then all of a sudden you already got people pissed off.
That's the problem. That's the problem, that these CNN or any of these media outlets, Fox, all of them, whoever,
everybody, all
like,
guilty.
They should be a fine if you doc video or edit video and put it out and put a certain narrative that isn't the truth. I think it's kind of fucked up. They did it with the shorty. They was like, oh look, black girl gets killed by cop last week, and then you wait, all these facts start coming out.
Let me twist that on his head really quickly, because I wanted to talk to you about it, and then we'll get more on this, and maybe we'll get into some other stuff. But okay, homegirl calls 911. Did you hear the 911 call?
Well, now this is the thing too. Supposedly,
right, let's
there's more information saying she didn't call the cops.
But they have a 911 call from her.
No, they have a 911 call from a woman who calls saying, there's a woman here that they're about to fight, and one has a knife. That's what the 911
There's another
call.
There's another 911 call that I heard. I forget what media news outlet released it. It was saying like, "Hey, there's these two adult girls getting at me." So let me twist it. Let's say, and I don't want to say pretend, because there's a lot of. We obviously don't have all the facts right now, but. And again, it's the full compliancy that the police want, unless they bang you. Okay, if she was defending herself, where's the argument or the discussion for that? Because I feel like if you're fighting for your life, because obviously, if you rewind the tape, she was fighting two chicks.
But here's the issue, right? If you call the cops and you're fighting for your life, and you had to call them from somewhere. So I'm assuming she was in her house.
Or whatever, wherever you was at. Right.
So she was in her house. She got a knife from in her house. If she felt threatened and called she called the cops, why didn't she just stay inside? That's one. Two, there's a foster father that was there who kicked one of the girls in the head while they were on the ground. Why didn't he stop the fight?
Let me laugh at you. Go ahead. I got it.
Why didn't he?
We said that there should have been more accountability from the team that was around them, because those dudes jumped in, especially if homegirl. Because this is my thing. Isn't homegirl like 16 years old?
Exactly.
It couldn't have been that fucking dangerous. I know she was a bigger girl, but holy fuck.
My thing is too, like, the police getting there. It's not like Call of Duty where this fucking your name's above your head. Is that people are not running around with their names above their head saying, "Hey, I'm the one who called, and I'm the one who's the victim, or I'm the one who's the assailant." A cop pulls up to the situation and all chaos is breaking out. Shorty's falling on the floor in front of him. A girl's trying to stab her while she's falling in front of the cop. Then the cop's telling her to stop. Then she goes and she's fucking forearms another girl to the car, and then she cocks her hand back and is about to stab her. That's all.
No, listen, milliseconds. It's not even minutes. It's milliseconds.
You know,
I'm saying this. Let's take away the knife shit. How come these dudes are not like fucking like what are we talking about? Let's bring in our guy, because we love Andrew Yang. Shout out to Andrew Yang. Hopefully you win mayor of NYC. Why are we not choking people out? And now what the need to
now that's illegal now, because
no. I was just gonna say, not the knee to the fucking throat when you're down on the ground.
No, but even a regular chokehold.
I do not see no fucking cops kicking ass. Literally.
That's the issue. And if they are, you have 8 holding one person down, and then he's snuffing him in a guy in the face. And I've seen that, and I think that's fucked up too. But again, there's a lot of people.
And again, there's no fucking training. They barely fucking have to register their weapon annually, which is 2 times a month. Some places is 1, right? Most of these dudes are overweight, not in shape. Homeboy that went to go stop that shit, he was like fucking 5'8". Yep. Homegirl obviously ate her Wheaties. Yep. You weren't gonna do jack shit.
But again, like we have to go to like anything that we're talking about has to have some facts with it and data to support it. Cops,
I get you,
are not walking around the street and just saying, "Hey, look, there's a minority. Let's shoot him." It doesn't work like that. If that was the case, I would be like, "Oh shit is getting fucking out of hand." But that's not how it's happening.
What I'm saying more so is that that's not really what it is. But when they deal with us, forget about the color. When they deal with us, if we don't do exactly what the fuck they say, they feel like it's a level of disrespect, and
I
they get
agree.
either nervous
But that's
or what the fuck, and they fucking confuse a stun gun, which weighs like 10 ounces, to a real gun, which weighs like fucking 5 pounds, and they gun us down. They gun us down, and that's the thing, which is bullshit. Because guys like Ben Shapiro and a lot of these other motherfuckers are trying to make it that it's black versus white. It's not about that. We're all getting killed. Civilians are being killed by police because police do not know how to handle situations. It just so happens to be that the media keeps personifying that it's black people getting killed.
Exactly.
And so they're running the narrative.
But that's the problem.
Because now it's white versus black. It's Proud Boy versus BLM. It's fucking, Democrats versus Republicans. It's old versus young. Everything, they got us all divided. Now that we talked about it last week. Vaccine, no vaccine. You're not fucking cool, bro. Did you get your vaccine?
But that's the problem where people have to.
It's device.
We've gotten to me. We've all gotten smartphones, but are dumber. Like it's a scary narrative that I've said it before, and there's a book called The Dumbest Generation, and it pertains around us, where the social media, technology, and just people are just not smart, and it's scary to me. Like switching it here, we're bringing up COVID. It's sad to me how people who are called educators, quote unquote, are not like. Why is the school open already? The data is out. COVID does not kill massive kids. It's already out. Why aren't kids in school? It makes no fucking sense at all. Now, if you have a science teacher who's supposed to be an educator, and all of this is based on science, and you're still making bad, wrong decisions, and you're not progressing.
Fucking chiefs on the reservation. That's the fucking problem. Okay?
That's it.
Smart people, everybody's got a fucking opinion, and everybody knows stuff. All right. Now, I'm not gonna bang my chest entirely on your side of the argument, but the numbers are out. Florida cases are down. Texas cases are down, but yet we still got people caged up like fucking animals. Okay, I'm upset right now because they treat my kid like he's got fucking, I don't know, cooties. They can't even tie his laces. You can't tie his laces. It's already came out that on surfaces, COVID doesn't have that long of a shelf life, right? But it's fear mongering, and that's what's happening. Okay, it's fear mongering. It's all of these fucking news outlets, and they're fucking keeping us scared and keeping us locked up and keeping us indoors. And that's what they want to do. But this is the thing, because this is a fucking problem. If we don't watch it, we can be just like fucking India right now. And India is losing people at an alarming rate daily. It's right back to the way it was here. But when it was at its highest, 2,500 plus people are dying a fucking day. 300,000. I think the last time I checked, it was almost like 400,000 cases in less than 2 weeks.
Which is still not bad.
But this is the thing, bro. You're saying it's not bad because you're looking at the overall perspective.
You have to.
I get that, but the problem is that when you bring it into the lens of the United States of America, not everybody has medical insurance, and most of these fucking places that get fucked with COVID are poor, black, and brown. The white cats who got the medical and all this other, like, there's no fucking senators dealing with this shit. Like Trump, he had it, right? And he got the best care on the planet. The care he got is not going to go to Juan, or it's not going to go to Jamal. It's just not going to fucking happen. Yep. And that's why it's a problem. But I agree with you. It's like either we do it all away or we don't do it. It's like, I think that COVID is still hanging around because we're like seesawing on this shit. It's either we're going to fucking look at herd immunity and trying to force everybody to get fucking vaccinated, or we're going to stay fucking closed down and let this shit disappear in the air with ultraviolet rays, which I don't even know if that's fucking true. But it is getting tiresome. And I know a lot of people are fucking, and then the CDC, I don't know if you've seen this shit. Now the CDC's got fucking green and yellow, red, like we're playing a fucking kids game. You wear one mask for one fucking situation. You wear another mask if you're fucking vaccine. You wear, what the fuck are we doing here?
It's stupid.
This is not the rainbow of mask. Like this mask shit has been people are getting fucking fat on this mask shit.
Yep.
People are making so much money on masks. And I just seen right now, Lysol kills COVID. Fucking Lysol, you can't even fucking find it.
Yep.
or Clorox
But
wipes or
that's the problem that I'm having is that there's no concern for the flu like this. There's no concern for the common cold like this.
the only reason why I think that there's no concern is because they figured out how to remedy that shit.
They
We
really
still don't.
haven't. There's no cure for the flu or for the common cold.
But we have realized that your body could beat it out. Even though the numbers say that the flu does kill people too.
Yeah, but
So
your body can.
I'm confused.
But your body can beat COVID too. The numbers show that too. So
I get it.
The thing is that the problem is that the first of all, the hospitals or wherever weren't transparent with the fucking numbers. So how is it that we average 50 to 60,000 people die a year from the flu, and then last year only 1,000 or 2,000, 3,000 people died from the flu? What, the flu just fucking miraculously disappeared and never existed again? No. Is it that a lot of people were dying for COVID, or you had people
were fudged?
Of course. You have a lot of people who's like, wait a minute, my mom had stage 4 cancer, and she died, and her death certificate says COVID. Wait, what? My uncle has stage 3 lung cancer. He smoked for 40 years. He died from lung cancer. Why does the death certificate say COVID? Like, you had a lot of those things. Now, anybody who is not healthy and overweight and has pre-existing conditions, you at risk for death. Where it could have been the flu, the common cold, chickenpox, shingles, whatever the fuck. Any new virus that comes out, you are susceptible to it because your immune system isn't built up. Most people, again, are deficient in vitamin D. Even the CDC came out. All the hospitalizations, 78% of people were obese. And that's a problem.
And that's another talking point that's not brought up, right?
Yeah.
Health.
Yeah, exactly.
We talked about it last week. Coke and heroin are jealous of sugar, right?
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we have all these educators, quote unquote, are reading things supposedly, or not reading things and making decisions that are not rational. Nobody is reading something and like, oh, you know what? Let's adjust. Let's do this. Then let's do that. If this goes up, all right, this over here is not working. Let's do something else that's working. Oh, this is working. Let's double down on this that's working. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, you can have COVID and not have a fever. Like, that's a possible thing. You can have a common cold, have a fever, and you don't have COVID. That's a true statement too. So, like, for me, I don't know about you, but my kids, if you get there to school super early, there's a fucking line down the block that they're making them temperature check, which is fucking insane.
They're doing that to y'all. That's crazy. At least, thank God we don't get that. I mean, I thought it was Mother Kelly, not Mother New York. That's bananas.
Yeah, that's insane. But like, even if, let's say a kid have a fever, it could be something else. It won't be COVID.
They're all of a sudden now everything's being treated with kid gloves. Like I said, they won't even tie my fucking kids' shoelaces because.
And the issue is, this is all democratic states. This is all progressive states that are wanting to stay locked down. If all these progressive states are so fucking smart and everybody's a fucking liberal, how are we acting so fucking stupid to information that's right in front of us? And it's fucking sad.
That brings me up to this point, and then we'll dip out to news or no news. What are your thoughts about Uncle Joey, 100 days in or 100 plus in, based on all of this data? Because he's in fucking charge. And these are the fucking democratic cities that are fucking everything up. Right? I mean, I even think to shout out to my homie K Smite. Fucking homeless is going out of control, and it's only going out of control again in democratic cities. Like, where the fuck is going on? And I'm not a conservative, and I'm not super excited about Republicans, but it doesn't look like the Democrats are doing a good job either. They fucking suck too.
And now they want to. What's scaring me is that people, like, they keep printing money. Like, we have this endless supply of, like, money that unless they know something that I don't know, like, we just keep printing money. Now they want to do this stupid child credit, give people with kids money a month. Like, when has the government of the United States supposed to be the father of other people's kids? They're not like, or parents of people's kids. Why is the government giving everybody money for their kids? Like,
maybe they think that the universal basic income is start early.
Like, don't get me wrong. I think that is a great idea that we have to tackle, and I think we can achieve it. because they've been doing it for 40 plus years in Alaska. Like, this is not something that's not being done in the United States. It's being done in Alaska. But we need to, do a better job, because you got like cornballs like AOC had this whole dramatic thing that I see these pictures all the time online. And she had this whole dramatic shit when Trump was president at the border, and she hasn't been at the border since about with Biden. He's doing the same exact shit. Like, it's just a stupid politic things that
I agree. I mean, I think that nobody's even talking about that Uncle Joey has a media blackout of the fucking border situation. What in the fuck?
And then you have another thing about, you can't even.
Harris talking about transparency. This organization is going to be more transparent than the other organization. I'm like, not both motherfucking liars, both of y'all. And that speech he gave the other day, I wanted to bring this into, and I was going to say news or no news, but no offense, I get it. The imagery of having two women in power standing at a place where men usually hang out is dope. But Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris aren't fucking like the greatest fucking leaders on the planet. I love how they fucking, like, even CNN was fucking trying to sell me that shit too. And I'm like, bro, don't give a fuck. And then I hear Uncle Joey up there talking about taxes for the rich. I'm like, papi, but you're rich. You're talking about millionaires and billionaires. That's you. That's you, daddy. That's you. That's not me. I don't know nothing about that. I'm not fucking on YouTube or whatever the fuck Pelosi did with the Baskin Robbins video at her house. That was so distasteful. What's wrong with you?
And I remember Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins said this a couple of years ago. He's like, let's say just for instance, you took all the richest people in the world, their money, right? Let's say you took Jeff Bezos, you took Elon Musk, you took, Warren Buffett, you took everybody's money. That's probably maybe, I don't know. Let's just say everybody's money is $4 trillion, $5 trillion. Let's just say that, right? All the rich billionaires.
Yeah. Let's go. What's the number? 10 trillion? We're gonna go.
Let's just say 10 trillion, right? Let's just say if it was 10 trillion for all the billionaires. I don't think it's that much, but let's just say it's 10 trillion.
No. It's probably less. It's probably like around 3 or 4.
So now, right? So if we take all their money away from them and pay down the debt, there's still $27 trillion we are in debt.
Bananas.
So this whole taxing more the rich, it makes no sense.
Not only that, why in the fuck do we need a $750 billion annual fucking military budget? Why? Explain it to me. Where we can't get schools, roads, shit don't work, trains don't work, buses suck. Like, what the fuck?
And why do we keep paying? Why do we still have a USPS? We shouldn't have a USPS anymore. It should be all private. Should be done by UPS. Should be done by DHL, FedEx, Amazon. All of it. They should all be done by private companies. They do a better job. They're more efficient. They do everything better. Government sucks at doing things.
Look at what they did with COVID.
They suck at everything. So when you're trying, like, why do we still have quarters and nickels and dimes and pennies? It costs more to make pennies than a penny is worth. 1 penny. Why do we keep making pennies? It makes no fucking goddamn sense.
I think a lot has to do with that this country and especially from the leadership perspective is that we're ridiculously nostalgic. That's the problem.
Like you have the Pentagon, you have the Pentagons.
20s. Yep. Everybody wants to fucking roll out and fucking, keep up with the Joneses. Now it's keep up with the Kardashians. It's fucking ridiculous.
And it's sad because you had like one time the Pentagon was like, we don't need nothing. We don't need tanks. Like, why are tanks being made? We don't fight with tanks anymore. Everything's fucking drones and on boots on the ground. Why do we have tanks? And they made like 3,000 tanks for no reason, just to sit there. So we have a lot of shit that,
Yeah, it's a lot of problems.
We talked about this last week a little bit. We touched on it, and I was talking to my girl about it. I just want to say that I love America, and America is not perfect, but it's better than a lot of places, and almost better than anywhere else to be. And I just want us to. When I speak about things, I want us to improve on things. I don't want to say, Canada's doing better, or UK is doing something better, or whatever, China's doing something better. I want us to be winning, and and we spoke about it last week. I was like, I don't understand why Americans hate America so much. You know, I feel like we should all be united because we're the fucking United States, and we're
But
not.
I feel like that has to do with the media
For
because
sure. But I'm
have a
saying
so
even them, they should be held to a higher standard because why don't you want America to win? Like even if
But
Donald
you know the
Trump,
funny America is winning. America is winning.
no,
We're
we're
fucking.
not. We're
We
not.
totally are.
We
We're on
can't. We're
top.
not.
We're on top of the food train. To
We're
be honest with
not.
you, we're lacking versus China is fucking. They spend money on infrastructure and we don't. So maybe in 100,000+ years or whatever the fuck, our bridges, tunnels, and roads are gonna be fucked. And their shit's gonna be flying, saucers and shit. But overall, bro, we're super W.
We can't
We
because
we smashed out COVID. In comparison to other nations, we fucking kicked it in the face. China struggled. Brazil is still struggling. India is struggling. Europe still can't get it dialed.
But I'm saying for overall, like we don't lead the world in all the categories that should matter. Like we lead the category, and we arrest the most people, and we the most people die from. We like the second and the most gun deaths. Like
I know that was a stat that I wanted to throw in there too that we didn't even talk about because the gun violence shit is crazy. Like with all the gun shit, most people kill themselves with guns.
exactly. So that's
Like,
that's another false narrative that gets thrown in there when it comes to the gun thing is where, like, let's say 1,000 people, for instance, kill themselves with firearms. 65% of that is suicide.
right.
So they'll say is a mass shooting, or
Yeah, they fudge the numbers.
they'll say a gun death and it's a suicide death. And that's the
Obviously,
same thing with COVID.
We obviously have a problem with gun control, period. But I get you. We do gotta perform better. I just think that capitalism is fucking this country up because everybody's
No.
only for themselves. Yes, that's all everybody cares about. Even when someone comes up, the first thought is, it's a crab in a barrel situation. And I think one of the biggest disillusions about this fucking nation is that everybody's gonna be rich. That's bullshit. That's a lie. Not everybody's gonna be rich.
Capitalism has taken 2+ billion, 3 billion people out of poverty.
I understand that it does have positives, right? But when
there's a massive positive. There's nothing else that's better for
when
it.
this was founded, it was supposed to be, let's say, 60-40. 60% capitalism, 40% socialism. It is skyrocketed to like 80-90, bro.
It should be 100% capitalism.
Bro, with capitalism, people get greedy, bro. Jeff Bezos does not need $800 billion.
He
I'm
doesn't.
sorry.
He has $200 million, right? This is what he said. He's said it, and I think he's right. He has $200 billion, whatever. But he's made $800 billion for other people. That gets lost in the sauce. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I feel like that's some bullshit because
How?
Because, bro, when you're talking to me, 200 billion and 800 billion sounds like the same number.
No, it's not. What I'm saying is that
and then you made people a billion and you're a millionaire. You know what I'm saying?
But all right, so this one individual has 800,000 employees, right? That's 800,000 employees that would have been either not working or would have been doing something else. Now you also have investors, people who are investing. So if his company's worth $1 trillion and he's made 200 billion, he's made 800 billion for other people. And anybody can get into that game. You can go and buy fractional shares of Amazon. You know what I'm saying? But you're getting out of poverty. But I'm saying you can leverage that. So like, let's say, right? But what's saying is like, okay, let's say 10 years ago, right? You would have taken 10 grand, invested into Amazon. You would have probably been a millionaire. Right?
Let me see. Let me do the math.
10 or 15 years ago. I'm saying early. Just say whatever case.
Try to think about it. Yeah. If it was 100, you'd be close. You wouldn't be a mill. You'd probably be high 100,000s.
So I'm saying whatever, 100,000. So if you kept investing into this, whatever, now your person that is not in made the billions, but now you guys look at the overall totality of how many people he's by him making this company, how many people he has taken out of either poverty or that had a mid baseline of money.
You know what's so crazy? It almost sounds like trickle-down economics, and that always makes me nervous.
No, trickle-down economics has never worked.
That's exactly what that sounds like.
No. What I'm saying is...
And then because I'm making money, everybody, like, it gets spent downward.
No, trickle down economics is giving that person a tax break and thinking that the money's going to trickle down. What I'm saying is that capitalism works. What we need is more capitalism and more free market, because it's too much.
I like the free market.
It's too much. It's too much. There's too much regulation on things, and not enough of letting my business deal with somebody else. So if I wanted to pay somebody $6 an hour or $5 an hour because they're giving me $8 worth of profit, which is I'm only getting plus $3 worth of profit, you shouldn't force me to pay somebody $15 an hour when that person's only making $10 worth of profit. Now I'm losing $5 worth of profit. Now I'm losing $5 because that one individual is only giving me $10. You understand what I'm saying? Of profit. So capitalism has taken people out of poverty.
I'm not saying that it hasn't helped this nation. I am not saying that it
hasn't across the entire planet.
But greed fucks people's brains up, bro. Because
that's
once
for anything, though.
1980, fucking somebody said greed is good, and this country is really fucking greedy, bro.
Everybody's greedy when you have a mass amount of money.
Well, it's probably like 50 people that have all the money, like the majority of the money in the United States. I'll even be gracious. I'll say 1,000. 1,000 people have all the money. That sounds crazy, and that was on the back of capitalism.
But if you were able to, there's some things that you could copy that they're doing, and you could yourself be a millionaire.
As a concept, it works, right? It's just when the concept gets fucking used for the wrong thing. But this sounds like a discussion for a whole nother motherfucking thing, and maybe we could get it going, because I'm either gonna start fucking drinking or commit suicide. Let's argue about some more funny shit and have a good time. And because we're about to, is it starting yet? I'm like calling the draft. When is
it? It's at 8:00, so it's starting right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, where we at? It said on the NFL Network. They better be showing this goddamn thing. Okay, so we're gonna go into our next segment, news or no news, our favorite. So news or no news. Elon Musk is on SNL. That's the first part. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's news because he's gonna. I'm interested into how he's gonna do a little bit of his funny stuff, because he is kind of funny without trying to be funny, because he's so fucking smart.
Yeah, he's quirky.
He's definitely a nerd. So I would say news.
Okay, so is this news or no news? Some of the cast members weren't crazy about him hosting.
I think you have a lot of these guys who want to host or are up and coming in the cast, and don't know him. You know, or you see him from a distance, saying, "Oh, this guy's a billionaire, smart, digs fucking tunnels, is a spaces and shit in space, builds cars, has a boring company, has a whole bunch of other shit."
He's Tony Stark, bro. He's
exactly.
delivering.
So you know, what the fuck do you guys know?
Okay, cool. So no news. I'm gonna say it's news because how dope is that? Elon Musk. We are gonna definitely see him perform in some capacity. I don't know how much of the jokes that they're gonna write for him. I think it's news. I think it's super awesome to have a smart person in the building. All right. So news or no news? Dr. J, Julius Irving, leaves LeBron James off of his all-time list.
I say no news because he's from a different era. So you have a lot of these guys who are gonna say, like, Oscar Robertson, you know, Bill Russell. You have, you know, this is just a different era. Because you have a little bit of confirmation bias of who you grew up loving, who you grew up, who you played against, and you know, like, and I'm pretty sure, like, LeBron doing what he did with joining up with other, you know, all-stars, rubbed some of these older guys the wrong way. So you have a lot of this, just a bias. So I was
gonna say a lot of those guys also kind of created the game that we watch now. Ron Barl, Dr. J, Robbins, the Bill Russells, some of those dudes. I say it's news only because you got to be the dumbest person on the fucking planet. LBJ all fucking day. It's got to be Michael, Kobe, LeBron on the top 5 of all time. Get the fuck out of here. I don't care about rings. I don't care about eras. I don't care that you had 75,000 fucking assists when it never mattered. LeBron James is a filthy animal when it comes to playing basketball, and he's fucking like if Shaq and Kobe had a baby. Not as finesse as Kobe, but when he's coming through the lane, I've never seen somebody have such body control midair and be able to lay it up left and right and still take collision and still make that shit bounce. He kind of has almost that Michael Jordan kind of style of laying up, where he invites collision and still figures out how to bounce it in. So I say it's news because Dr. J's got to be smoking some shit. All right. News and no news. Carmelo Anthony is going to release a new memoir.
No news. I don't care what happens in his private life at all. Not even a little bit.
Well, I say it's no news, but I would be interested to hear his point of view with him running fucking ISO all the goddamn time in the fucking and never winning a championship. But we'll save that for another day too. Okay, news and no news. Bryce Harper gets hit in the face with a 90+ mile an hour pitch.
I say it's news because he's overrated. So.
Woo, wow, that's crazy. All right, okay, cool. I say it's news only because if he would have been down, I mean, the Phillies played a lot for him, so you wouldn't want.
I wish him a speedy recovery. I hope everything.
Bro, that guy's built like a fucking tank. Have you ever seen Bryce Harper? That shit hit him in the face, and he got like a little baby black eye, like a little. Like that guy is a house, is a monster. All right, this is just funny shit because I just like seeing your face. News or no news? The Padres hit 7 straight hits in a game to beat the Diamondbacks.
No news. Like it's still early in the season. I'm just happy Tatis is healthy, and I like the swagger he brings to the game.
100%. You seen him clowning on the Dodgers?
Yep.
News or no news? This is not in it, so I'm gonna start freestyle. You like that? News or no news? Is the Padre-Dodger rivalry the best rivalry in baseball right now?
No, it's still gonna be the Yankees and Red Sox.
But even right now, in this temp. Okay, cool. Boom. Next. This has got to be interesting. News or no news? The Buccaneers signed all 22 starters. Oh, they didn't sign all 22 starters. They're bringing back all 22 starters from their Super Bowl roster to play. It's the first time this has happened since 1979. First of all, is that news or no news?
It's news just because it just shows that how the leadership of Tom Brady and the fact that one person could change your whole organization.
I also put that Antonio Brown resigned, which is going to be, I mean, ridiculous with the cohesion. News or no news, they win the whole thing.
No news. I think they're going to run it back. I think it's
perfect. So, you pay for those Chief fans out there. All right, Patrick. All right. News or no news, Jimmy G. Patriots are thinking about whether or not they can snatch this guy up.
I think no news. I think the Patriots, Jimmy G might go back. It doesn't look likely. It's just a lot of just talk because Belichick is. I think Belichick is gonna go get one of these young guys. I think we're gonna see some surprise trades in the draft.
Yeah, I really like this guy at Justin Fields falling to them. I think it would be great. I say no news because Jimmy G. Sorry, bro, you're not the answer at quarterback. Okay, news or no news? Walmart is accusing Kanye West Yeezy's brand of copying their logo.
I say this is news because who the fuck does Walmart think they are to have the balls to go and sue or try to say that anybody's gonna confuse any Yeezys with anything from Walmart? I just think it's a laughable matter, and they're on crack.
The logo doesn't even look similar, so I say I agree with you. You say news or no news?
I say news just because I think they're just on drugs.
I say no news. You guys are just fucking ridiculous. Walmart, just have a seat. All right, news or no news? Because we did it last week, but I guess we were trending. Miss Jenner is running for governor.
I think we talked about this last week, didn't we?
We said she was thinking. Now that she is, you still think it's news? We're gonna run.
No news because it's fucking Caitlyn Jenner.
Right. Let me see here. So I'm gonna put this in a weird space. News or no news that Joe Rogan had to walk back anti-vaxxer comments. Did you see anything about
that? He didn't walk back.
He just apologized for it.
He did?
He said he was a moron, so I don't know if that's an apology.
I didn't see anything about him apologizing at all.
DMZ reports 2 hours ago Joe Rogan says he's a moron, but not anti-vax. Walks back COVID remarks.
I gotta see that, but anyway, it's. I think it's stupid. I think it's news just because of these fucking idiots. If you actually watch the video of what he said, he's perfectly correct. There's nothing anti-vaxxing about it. There's nothing that's false information about it. He said if you're healthy and you're 17, 18, or 19, or children, if you're a child, or if you have children, there should be no rush to give these kids a vaccine because it doesn't have a high mortality rate for healthy young people. If you have cancer, if you are overweight, if you have dark skin and are unhealthy, you should get the vaccine. But if you're relatively healthy, you shouldn't get the vaccine. There's no need for it. It's not FDA approved. And that's
Right.
another misnomer that the media hasn't made it really clear that this vaccine is not FDA approved.
Okay, so we're gonna say news.
I said news.
Got it. I'm gonna say news too, because anytime Rogan gets on his pulpit, it's definitely something to listen to at least. And now he's getting pushback from Fauci, so for him to kind of release an apology is interesting. All right, we did this a while back, so I wanted to bring it back. News or no news, they basically arrested everybody that kidnapped Lady Gaga's dogs, or they have 5 arrests. We don't know if they got everybody.
No news. Who the fuck cares about a dog?
Okay, and then the last one. This is comedy. Tashiki 69, baby's mama has medical scare after Brazilian butt lift. News or no news?
No news. I don't know who the fuck that is.
Oh my god! I say it's news only because a lot of these girls are getting these procedures, and let me give. I'm the last person to mansplain because that's apparently a thing now.
Those people are dumb who say that.
I just want to.
Those people are fucking idiots. If you mansplaining, it's explaining something to your fucking dumbass. Because men have a language and women have a language, and we speak differently.
I'm gonna mansplain something really quickly. I've always believed in deals and discounts, but when it comes to your body, you might want to pay top of the line because you get what you pay for. Be careful on some of these procedures because these Brazilian butt lifts have had quietly some disturbing outcomes for some girls, and some girls have actually been in danger medically. So we're gonna end the news or no news. That was fucking comedy. Thank you for all the laughs. That's always a good time for me. I'm always digging it. So now we're gonna go to the around the leagues: NFL, NBA, MLB, and whatever other sports. Could be a little bit of international football. Could be golf, soccer,
My
tennis.
bad. I had a little weird face because I'm reading this article about the Joe Rogan shit, and they said they were saying something. They were saying something stupid. Like that's what like you can't. Some of these people are dumb. Like look, listen. Meanwhile, right? So it goes. The people are upset, especially since the COVID-19 death toll in the U.S. has surpassed 537,000 as of April 27th. Meanwhile, more than 3 billion people have died worldwide after contracting the virus. That's just false information. If there's 7 billion people in the world or 8 billion people in the world, you're telling me a third of them died? You know how the fucking modium would be right now if 3 billion people died of the COVID virus?
I thought the last number that was like somewhere around 600,000.
No, that's in the United States. This person in his article said, meanwhile, more than 3 billion people have died worldwide after
Yeah, that could be a typo. That's a typo.
But I'm saying like that's weird. That's crazy because your editor's an idiot or you're an idiot if you don't proofread your shit.
The thing too, because I don't know. I've been reading so many articles, and first of all, I'm the last person to be telling anybody about how to write because I kind of stink in that department a little bit. But these guys are so fucking quick to get the headlines. Let's go. They're not even fucking proofreading the work. They're just fucking shipping it out. We're fucking Skip Baylessing fucking the news outlets right now. Whatever's hot and it's gonna stick, we're gonna fuck with that. All right, yeah, I want to look into that. Was that his most recent episode?
I didn't see the most recent episode, so I don't know what he said.
No, this particular discussion for Rogan. Was that on his most recent episode?
It must have been today. He must have said I'm a moron or whatever. Today, I didn't see today's episode. I was finishing up one from another day. But go ahead. No. Where are we right now? We're on the leagues.
Aaron Rodgers, should he get the fuck out of Green Bay?
He should. I think you've done all you could up there. I think Green Bay should really be on the, on par to move forward. Like right now, they have a perfect opportunity. you could trade Aaron Rodgers to the 49ers for like 4 first-round picks. You get this year's first-round pick and 3 more first-round picks, and then you have your own first-round pick this year. You know,
I
like
agree.
you should just move on. Get a king's ransom for Aaron Rodgers. Or I would go to anybody who's going to give me a king's ransom. Go to the Falcons. Say, I'll trade you Aaron Rodgers. You give me a first-round pick. I'll take Matt Ryan, and I'll get the 4th-round pick. The Green Packers could draft Kyle Pitts or something like that. You know, like that.
We didn't even like look at it. You're talking about Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields. They got Trask. They got Trey Lawrence. They got a couple of other dudes in there. Matt Jones. There's a lot of guys, right? So like at this point, it almost behooves you to move Rodgers now.
And then you already have Jordan Love too. So let's say if you want to get crazy, right? You could trade Aaron Rodgers for the number 3 pick to the 49ers. You could get Kyle Pitts. You have a stud tight end. You have Jordan Love starting off, and then you get whatever other picks. Or you could trade Aaron Rodgers for one of the defensive players and the 3rd round pick anyway. So
let me ask you a question. Do you think it was a stupid move financially for them to lock up Jones? When we know, at least in this
Julio Jones?
No, they're running back. I think his name is
Airin Jones. You're talking about. I think so because most running backs don't last long, and it's sorry to say, you know, he's probably gonna have another year or two where he's a stud, and then after that you're done. You know, like so you lock up that money.
Okay, so you're there, right? You're playing Tampa Bay, right? You're the GM. Green Bay loses. You walk away, go into the locker room, have a couple weeks to think about it, put your Billy Bean hat on. At that specific moment, with everything that has transpired, would you have not blown up the whole fucking thing? Because I would.
In Green Bay? Yes.
I would have moved off of Rodgers. I would have not signed that running back. I would have tried to get as much draft equity as possible. This draft looks so fucking juicy. Yep. All these kids had a year off of COVID. I get as much money as I possibly can, and I restructure because Aaron Rodgers is a big reason why they don't win. And what I mean by that is to pull it full circle. They pay him a king's ransom. He gets paid a lot of fucking money.
Yep.
I can't afford anybody else. Right? I got to make crazy deals as the GM so that I can figure out who I could get. I mean, they got, what were the 2 defensive ends that both have the last names that they call them brothers?
Airin Smith and I forgot the other Smith brother.
The Smith brothers. They were barely able to afford that. And you're telling me every season you guys are at like the cap hit? You guys are always at the bottom of cap money available? Like, I think that Moneyball or a version of a Moneyball style needs to enter the NFL because these guys are just leaking and hemorrhaging money. And I believe that not all these teams are committed to win.
I don't think Moneyball is per se is the right approach. I think if you take, I'm saying it's a hybrid. I would say you should have a balance where your whole team is a B+ across the board. You know,
right. Agreed with that. Yes.
You spread your money across the entire thing and have B+ players that when they come together, they play A+ level. So I agree with that. I think they should do that. You should get, you know, again, I would talk to all these young quarterbacks. If I'm a billionaire, which almost all of the owners are, say, yo, listen, fam.
Not almost all.
There's no way. I'm saying all of them. So what I'm saying is like, yo, fam, come here for a second. What we're gonna do is right. I'm gonna hook you up with my accountant, some of the people that I know in the business world. All right, I see you cooking, but listen, look at Tom Brady, 20 million, 15 million, 9 million, 4 million. Who knows what he's gonna do later on? Take $1 million, whatever the case may be. Yo, I'm gonna hook you up long term after life. Let's get this shit situated in between the lines. You know what I'm saying? Let's do that. But the issue is that these guys are young. They want to get the big payday, and then you have the agents who are driving the prices up because the agents have a duty to get their clients the maximum amount of money, so that other people who see the client of an agent goes out and says, "Listen, I'm Patrick Mahomes. He's my client. Look, I just got him $500 million for 12 years. You know, like that's the whole thing. Like I got Dak, 4 years, 165 million guarantee, blah 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 blah." So you have a lot of these agents behind the scenes kind of doing X, Y, and Z, but the owners got to say something like, "Yo, I got you, fam. We're gonna work this out. Let's do something here." Or even do it sneaky through the GM.
With you, even if they don't do that, like to bring it into the Kamar I mean, I always call him that, Alvin Kamara argument, you got to be more of a hustler, dog. You got to go talk to Nike, to Balls, to Adidas. Like, I don't understand why the NBA got that shit dialed and the NBA and the MLB got it dialed. Like, all these guys got fucking.
MLB and NBA have guaranteed money.
No, forget about the guarantee money. I'm talking about the endorsement money. You don't hear crazy endorsement money. You only hear from like one or two guys, right? Like maybe a Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson. I feel like these sports agencies aren't representing these guys good enough, right? Because I was in the sports agent, I don't know, wheelhouse for like an hour, and I looked at it, and I didn't really think that the sports agents were really doing what was best for the players. I felt like the sports agents were doing what was best for the sports agent.
I think only the NBA does the best job. I don't even think the MLB does it because they don't even market to their stars as much as they should.
Yeah, right. I would be fucking Mookie Betts. He would be on fucking everything. Trout would be on everything. I would be selling fucking Bryce Harper shirts every fucking possible way I could.
Tatis will be everywhere.
Oh, I'd be selling fucking gavels out of bats, the judge hammer, whatever. Like, there's so many dope marketing schemes you could do. You could fucking, merchandise them off of like superheroes and characters. I just don't understand the marketing.
And in the NFL, it's just a shield. That's the problem.
Oh, right. That is the problem. And that's why what you're mentioning will never happen, because it is the shield. And the shield is, I forget what his name is because I'm not a fan of him. The commissioner protects the owners. He doesn't protect the give two fuck about the players.
Because he's hired by the owners.
I wanted to bring this in. Shout out to Dominic Grant. He said that the NFL draft is the new slave trade.
I've seen that. I've heard that argument before.
Let's bring it. It's like, here, take out your penis. Let's see how big that is. Here, jump how high you could get to jump and see. Okay, cool. Run how fast. Like, come on, bro. And he was saying that some of those drills are not even really productive in the way they evaluate talent on the field. Like, just because you can fucking do a cone drill doesn't mean you're a dope running back, right? And we seen fucking Tom Brady eat shit at the 40-yard dash. Homeboy's got more fucking hardware than a goddamn hardware store. You understand? Yep. So, like, obviously the system is broken. And by the way, I was thinking about you because I was watching Moneyball. And the scouts, you guys got to go. All you old motherfuckers, get out of here. And I know it sounds like ageism. I'm always talking about it. We need fresh eyes. Why are we not evaluating talent differently? Why are we not, me and my man, we always talk about it. Why are we not looking like to let's say, this is a crazy radical concept, but fuck, it's the same thing. Why are we not in fucking Japan looking at sumo wrestlers and having those guys being like, yo, you want to go get a free education? All right, cool. We're going to start putting you motherfuckers on offensive lines or DNs, right? Or go to Africa and maybe look at some of these guys who are dope track stars. Be like, yo, son, we're going to teach you how to fucking catch. Like, it's just the same fucking thing, right? The boosters, the same universities, the same garbage. If you come from Alabama, it's like fucking saying Harvard, right? But then all of a sudden, fucking Steve Young says, oh, I went to BYU. And so now BYU is hot. It's like, why are we not like looking at different ways to get talent if all they got to do is be a B, just be successful?
That's right? The problem. That's the biggest problem, is that they don't want, like we talked about it a little bit earlier. Why can't you get new information and adjust? Like, why is it so hard for that to happen? Now, being full transparent, being playing devil's advocate, you have a lot of these guys who, all right, let's say if I'm a great O-line coach, right? And I say, hey, listen, I think you should go and get a tight end here. And that tight end flops, you're fired.
That's true too.
Okay.
It just happened. Trevor Lawrence is a Jacksonville Jaguar. The New York Jets are on the clock. They didn't want to interrupt you. But no, it's true. I agree with you. Because Billy Beane was about to be fucking like laid to death. You know what I mean? Up until it worked. Right? Right up until that moment, he was like, I'm going to be, exiled out of the game for coming into this shit. And it was weird too. And I don't know. I mean, obviously drama adds into the film and how much bullshit it is. But these scouts are fucking like evaluating who they're dating. I'm being serious. And I'm sure they still think like to measure self-confidence.
Or characteristics or judgment or whatever.
Right. It's like, what in the and then I just love it. It's like, all we care about is, does he get on base? It's like the same thing in the NFL. Can he score? Yes. Can he catch? Yes. Why are we overcomplicating this shit? Right? Lamar Jackson fucking wins. Who gives a fuck how it happens? First of all, to even go further, who have the fucking Ravens won Super Bowls with? Brent Dilfer and Joe Flacco? Are you fucking kidding me? I signed Lamar Jackson long term until he breaks. Fuck it, dog. We're going to win like this. and we're gonna die this way. Fuck
Mhm.
everybody. And that's not the thing. Because it's like what you're saying. With the transparency thing, they're like that. I want to stay here. I have to get rid of homeboy. Fuck, all right, I need my job better than him. Peace out, cuz I'll go find somebody else. I'll go find a prototypical quarterback, which in my terms means white boy. Because the prototypical quarterback means a fucking pocket passer. Pocket passing, the way the NFL is designed, you're gonna get killed. You're gonna get killed.
Yep. Especially these OTAs and not having enough offensive linemen or enough practice. There's not enough practice.
The offensive lineman, you know how hard is it to get 5 guys cohesive? Out of 32 teams, there's like 5, not even 5. I think it's like 3 teams that have the best offensive line. And there's really only one, the Indianapolis Colts. Because everybody else has injuries and you shuffle dudes around, and one day it's COVID, and one day it rains, and one day he has a birthday, and one day he hits the lotto. So it's really hard to find consistency. All right, I don't want to bang on my chest too much with this, but somebody else that I wanted to bring in the news and no news situation was my man Teddy. They just
around the league, he can't. He just can't. I feel sorry for him, man.
Me too.
He just can't catch a break. Now, put it into a little bit of perspective on like how we could politicize or pay attention to, you know, a black guy or a white guy, whatever. Like Tyrod has been like, don't get me wrong, black quarterbacks always get the shit end of the stick, but you know you're seeing it more often where now it's if you can't perform at the highest level, you're done. Now I felt like Teddy Bridgewater is not getting a fair shake. You know, he signed last year with the Panthers. Christian McCaffrey was hurt almost the entire year. You know, they changed the quarterbacks. I mean, head coaches, OC, not enough time under it. You know, you have, you know, Tyrod Taylor's have gotten the short end of the stick, and now you have Teddy Bridgewater, and for whatever reason, he just can't get on a team that believes in him, and it sucks. Now you have him. He's on Denver now, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Yes, he is. He is on Denver.
He's on the Denver Broncos now.
Drew Lock for the starting quarterback position.
So now you have him going to Denver, and then you have all of a sudden you had the Panthers talk about they want to go and get another quarterback in the draft. That was a rumor. So like when you hear shit like that, it's like it sounds like the Panthers have no idea what the fuck they're doing. I felt like Drew Brees kind of fucked Teddy Bridgewater up too, where him leaving a year too late. He waited a year.
Yeah, he should have dipped.
He should have dipped last year, and Teddy would have been the starter there because he was already 5-0 there.
I never know that because fucking the Saints have so much of a payroll problem. Back to what we were saying, because fucking Drew Brees takes all the money, right? And even when they cut him, I'm sure they're gonna still have to pay him. And they had like 9 other dudes. Taysom, fucking my man, famous Jameis, and you're gonna have Teddy, and you're gonna have fucking Breeze. That's like no one even carries that many QBs. So that was a shitty deal too.
Yep, because then you pay Taysom Hill $20 million. I get it. He's an auxiliary player, plug-and-two player, but you have him as a quarterback, you know. And I feel for Teddy. He had a bad knee injury, came back, balled out with the Saints, you know. Then got could have went back to Minnesota, but Kirk Cousins is there. Then he gets traded again. He's just on the short end of the stick, man. Short end of the stick. All right, so next thing. Is Big Ben done?
Before we get into the Big Ben thing, I just wanted to say on Teddy's department that also not staying healthy hasn't helped.
True.
He was hurt in Minnesota. I think that the Jets didn't give him a fair deal. He moves down to New Orleans. Obviously, you're backing up. First of all, if I was his team, I would have never signed that deal. I'm like, we need to go play where we're going to be a starter. He didn't get an opportunity for that and ends up in Carolina. I had him and I drafted him as my fantasy quarterback. He fucking killed. He killed without McCaffrey, with wide receivers going down, with no fucking tight end, with a garbage wide receiver offensive line. I'll be honest with you, I definitely think he's going to beat out Locke in the quarterback competition.
Yeah.
I think even being in the Mile High might help him because it might get him to a different physical.
Right. Breaking news: the Jets draft Zach Wilson.
Okay, they finally got their fucking guy.
Poor Jets.
I know. All right, here we go.
All right, so is Big Ben done?
I don't know, man. I would say yes, but I don't understand. You just brought up with Breeze. Why are these organizations waiting a year too long to move? Right?
Well,
With
I guess you give them.
Drew Brees and rebuilt the whole entire fucking team when Brees was dominating the offensive numbers. You could have maybe moved up for Ben too. Now, granted, that is not the normal style that the Steelers do. They keep the same head coach, they keep the same general manager, they keep the same quarterback. But I feel like Ben's been done for a minute. The only thing is that the guy's actually super talented, and they led the league last year in the fastest plays off the snap. And then they got Chase Claypool in, and they look like they do things. They just can't run the rock. So if you can't run the rock, I feel like that's going to be a problem because Big Ben is one bad hit away from being done. And then now what happened? You didn't move up with Big Ben. You re-signed them. It was a heavy quarterback draft class. You didn't get a quarterback, right? So it's like you keep waiting instead of being progressive and being like, fuck it, dog. I love you. I'm going to give big dick status to fucking my man, the Emperor Palpatine. And Bill was like, Pete, doc, I don't know. I'm not gonna lock you up here again and then get stuck. Especially when the colleges keep producing, bro, like crazy.
That's one thing I could say about Belichick. He's always moved off a guy a year too early. Always.
He sets the trend on that. Even if he's wrong, he doesn't give a fuck.
Because for the most part, besides Tom Brady winning a championship, for whatever the reason this year.
Right. He's usually right.
He's been right 95% to 99% of the time.
Been right on every single fucking guy.
Exactly. So that's how like my logic comes into with the percentages. So now if he says, all right, now let's say if he were to just only keep players on because Tom Brady won a chip, how bad is his philosophy moving forward? Now, how long, he would have Gronk too long, Edelman too long. He's trying to move Stephon Gilmore. That's, he already sees the writings on the wall there. He's always moving off these guys.
They move him right now. Today.
So,
because you got to do it. You got to be progressive. You got to stay on top of it.
And that's where I see, I pay homage to Bill Belichick. Now, is Big Ben done? If you have quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield still in the league, and not stretching the field, still got guys like Lamar Jackson in the league who's not stretching the field. Big Ben still could throw darts all over the field, And Tom Brady could throw far, but he doesn't have a gun, and he still throws the ball deep. So you just gotta set up Big Ben to succeed. Get him a fucking running back, and I think they'll be good. I think you'll be good to go. I think they should have paid Le'Veon Bell at the moment when he wanted to be paid. I think Le'Veon Bell was still cooking. And
he had the chemistry. They should have paid everybody. They should have kept that nucleus together. They should have kept AB, Le'Veon, and Ben and seen what they could have gotten. Because they hasn't been since.
True, but I think they've seen it and the writing was on the wall with Antonio Brown. Showing like to practice, not being there, doing stupid shit. That all could be, in and of itself. Okay, so we have the draft potentially may go on down with the best quarterback class ever. What do you think?
I'm gonna say yes, only because I'm not an old fogey. I know Josh tried to coach me up. I think might be wrong, but Marino and Elway were in the same draft class. There was like another dude in that class that might be like 50% right, but the one that I remember is Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, and Eli Manning.
And there's one more in there, if I'm not mistaken, isn't there?
It might be, but I know that those were the guys that went in the first round.
Yes, and they've gotten 4 chips. But I feel like I'm missing one in that draft. But go ahead.
But anyway, so yeah, no. So I was impressed. I mean, draft day I wasn't that crazy. You know what I mean? I wasn't blown away. What I'm saying is Eli Manning. I knew that it was going to be really hard for that pedigree to be there. With this draft class, bro, I'm super impressed. We have 3 college playoff champions in this class alone. Matt Jones, Justin Fields, and Trevor Lawrence.
True.
That's That says a lot. And they weren't like bummies. Like Alabama spanked the fuck out of whoever they played last year. Spanked them.
Yes, they
Okay,
did.
that Devontae Smith, I hope he's a giant because I can't wait for him to start smacking fools all over the field because they smoked dudes. And that's why I really dig Matt Jones, because I think Matt Jones plays NFL style quarterback, which means I got to get the ball to the best guy no matter what. No matter what. If I'm fucking being blitzed, like, throw the rock up. Let's fucking go. I like him. I think he's going to be truly underrated. And the Niners are on the clock right now. They might fuck everything up because right now they're looking at Trey Lance or Matt Jones. It might shock the world if they take Matt Jones, which will also bring up minority discussions, because if the first three quarterbacks are white, people are going to lose their fucking mind on social. Because that's going to be, because that's insane. And to back Max Kellerman shit up, I mean, Justin Fields, Heisman Trophy winner this season, even though he had a worse season, and his worst season was like, let's say it's like 50-1, and then you did like 42-3. That was like your worst season, right? Like, how the fuck? I also like the kid from Florida. I think Trask is unbelievable. Another guy that's in the same vein of Matt Jones. He got the ball to the best guy on the field.
I think on this draft,
tight end, he was fucking dominating, and I was really fucking impressed with this kid's style.
Hold on, so, your video's frozen. You're frozen. Hold on.
All right, hold on. Yeah, hold on.
You move now. It's like a little slow. I think you're back to normal.
Am I back? Thank God I wasn't wearing underwear. I just got up like that. Yeah, you know, sorry. You're a little
stepped out there for a second. Okay, the video's back. Now you're back. You're good. You're good.
Okay, cool.
I would say
because I went one. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I would say only time will tell. If this draft cast is going to be the best. I remember Colin Cowherd saying a couple of years ago, saying just like these guys are just training so much earlier and having a lot of more 7-7 drills, 11-on-11 drills, getting way more reps. They're getting, 5,000-10,000 reps before they even get to college now. Because all these Nike camp, Adidas camp, Under Armour camp, Peyton Manning's camp, Eli, whatever camp. You have all these camps. And Trent Dilfer's, like on and on and on and on. And, they're getting the reps
Watson
in.
has a
all these guys have camps, so seeing these guys getting so much more reps and more practicing, these guys are coming in a little bit better, a little bit more polished. Now, that's why there's a lot of, you got a lot of guys getting overpaid because, you got Carson Wentz who had an MVP caliber year until he got injured. Garrett Goff got to the Super Bowl. A lot of these guys coming in getting success quickly. You got Lamar Jackson's cooking. So you got a lot of these guys coming in. Trevor Lawrence has probably been the highest rated quarterback since he was like in middle school. You've been a phenom since middle school. And Justin
been stroking
Fields,
him for a hot minute.
Exactly.
What the word is on the.
He's been a number
and you were
one
saying
pick.
that Fields was playing. Right.
And now Justin Fields is the number 2 pick.
So are they both from Texas? Or where they from, you think?
Breaking news. The 49ers draft Trey Lance.
Woo! Wow. That is huge. So again, Justin Fields gets shitted on because, in my opinion, I like Trey Lance. Trey Lance played against fucking bums.
Yep.
Okay, bums. Ohio State plays a better level of fucking player. 100%.
I guess because Trey Lance, they went undefeated and won the chip. That's the only reason why. They went undefeated, 16-0 and won the chip.
Who did?
Trey Lance.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
His team went 16-0 and they won the chip. So it's not obviously, but right. Supposedly the North Dakota State is the Alabama of,
the bump.
Yeah, of the FCS. No, is it FCS?
Yeah, it's a league that doesn't even.
It's FCS because the BCS is the
okay. Yes, you're right. It's like the NFL of the league.
Correct.
Crazy.
So
yeah, you know what? I also think that they're watching better athletes. They're training better. Science is better. These guys are playing different. You know, like they're watching Patrick Mahomes and Rodgers play, so they're gonna have a little bit more bravado to the way they move around. I mean, we obviously seeing guys like, I mean, Zach Wilson, who now is the Jet quarterback, has a lot of swagger. If you've seen him play, he runs around. He wears a little
to Mahomes.
Yeah, right. He has that whole fucking like I'm cool and cute kind of shit. So it's gonna be cool. I'm gonna see. It's gonna be interesting to me to see how much Justin Fields falls, especially when he has so many accolades. But like I said, to me, it's just like, you know, with the Lamar Jackson things, I just feel like they should, if you're gonna take a guy, play to his strengths, right? Go get his offensive coordinator in college. Make him your coordinator, right? Develop him. Give him a style of offense that works for him. Give him an offensive line at least, because the offensive line is not only going to help him, it's going to help the running back
It's
too,
the key thing,
right? And so we got to see. I don't know, Urban Myers. You know, we'll see how it works out in Jacksonville. Right now, the Jets have massive concerns, in my opinion, on offensive line. They got a crazy. I don't know if you've seen the kid on left tackle though. That kid is a fucking giant.
well,
He's like almost 7 feet.
Him.
Yeah, I hope so too. All right, so we're gonna try to hang around here a little bit longer to get this coverage, but we're actually under time. If you could imagine that, I don't even know how the fuck that's possible.
Because usually we're barking. No news. That's why.
Oh, cool. That's how you like it. So we're trying to keep this motherfucker under 2 minutes. So let's go assassinate some shits. You know, let's do some fatalities. Let's go into the critics' corner.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And this one is gonna be, because I think you and I are definitely pop culture fans. We grew up playing a lot of fucking video games together. We grew up hanging out crazy together. And so now on Critics Corner, we are going to be reviewing, spoiler alert, Mortal Kombat and it being released and our opinions on whether or not it was good or bad. I can't wait, so I'm not even going to say shit. What did you think, Hollow?
I thought it was literally one of the worst movies ever made. It's up there.
Thank you.
It's literally up there with the worst movie ever made. Like up there, like top.
Oh, one of my homies
20.
said entertaining. That's an insult to call that movie entertaining.
Horrible.
That's an insult.
I got a lot of people who said
an insult.
I got a lot of people.
What's your camp?
I got a lot of people saying that it's what they expected, and I'm like, what? You expected a bad movie?
Correct.
Like, don't get me wrong. All right, so I turned it on. I watched the first 20. I watched the first 20 minutes. And I'm like,
the first 8 out of the movie.
I was like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, okay, they're creating this feud between these two guys. One is, I guess,
because they're characters, probably.
So I'm like, all right, they're building something here. Okay, it's interesting. And then they cut this, like, crashed head first into a tree. And I'm like, all right,
wow.
So wait, now they're 7,000 years into the future. You know, whatever the shit happens, he's the great 78th great grandson of his third daughter's first cousin's best friend's niece that all have the same bloodline, and that's why he has the mark on him. And then I'm like, wait a minute, okay, so if he has the mark since birth, and he was, let's say, 5 years earlier, and he was born with it because he has the blood of Scorpion, why didn't they kill him as a baby? You know, like, these are the thoughts that are running through my brain. Why didn't they kill him when he was 5 years old? Why didn't they kill him when he was 10 years old? Why didn't they kill him when he was 15 years old? Because
allegedly, right, from what we've seen, that little baby is his great grandpa or great grandma that Sub-Zero didn't even know that he killed. That's why they didn't kill him, because his lineage basically disappeared. The Sub-Zero apparently killed the mom and the son, and then this thing. So Raiden, let's fucking pretend I'm gonna give this movie some fucking credit, which it deserves none. Raiden hid his bloodline. No, I
get that, but what I'm saying is,
no, I'm with you. Come on, bro.
It's stupid. So what I'm saying is, how, if you can find these other champions of Earth, why didn't you find this guy as a champion of Earth when he was 5 years old, or whatever the case may be? Now I also thought it was stupid. So Mortal Kombat was supposed to be this fucking fire tournament. You fight to the death to get to the champion, to get to the top. And now you're telling me that both the wizards or lords or whatever the fuck, they can't engage and help and fight, but they can send their troops out to go kill the champions of whatever realm that they're fighting. I thought the whole shit was so bad. Like, oh man, like, and
Let
then
me ask you real quick. Worse or better than, obviously, if you say it's the worst ever, so obviously Justice League was better than this, right?
unfortunately, yes.
You see, because I'm going to show you what a real terrible movie looks like. That was a real terrible movie, not Justice League. This shit.
Oh,
First of all, okay, let's rewind the tape a little bit. Granted, there's not that much tapestry, right? Like in, let's say there's novels and comics and all this stuff. But bro, why are you reinventing the wheel? It literally is a tournament with 3 characters that are good, 3 characters that are bad. Why did you try to fucking reinvent the sauce? Okay, Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, Luke Kane, Sub-Zero, fucking Scorpion, and let's say Goro. That's it. That's the whole fucking
and
game.
I don't think Johnny Cage was even in this one.
Oh, he wasn't. That's the one thing that fucking threw me the fuck off. I was like, what are you guys doing? You had the best opportunity to like get at least the funny thing. And so the funny thing they passed on to Kano, which was garbage.
He was entertaining in the like
What
what
was
the
the only thing to save the movie?
and everybody agrees on that. But I
Yeah,
thought
okay,
I
so
thought he was like a rip off of a Ryan Reynolds Deadpool kind of.
well, of
thing.
course, that shit was so cheesy and corny. This is another thing that I want to say. If I am these companies, you guys got to figure it out, because I'm telling you right now, like, forget about submission. You forgot to tap out and you've been choked out by a company called Marvel. And it's over. It's over. You guys will never, no one will ever fuck with them. It's like, it's time to write farewell fucking cards. Farewell DC. Farewell fucking Mortal Kombat. Farewell Tomb Raider. Farewell anything that's going to come out. These guys, they don't do nothing wrong anymore. They had a couple slips here and there. That's it. It's a wrap. It's over. They don't fuck around. And this movie was garbage. So Sonya Blade, fucking garbage. Scorpion's lineage guy, garbage. The guy everybody's like stroking Sub-Zero. But hey, he didn't. He was Asian and mad. That seems like a really easy win. That was, where was the depth of the levels?
Another thing I found stupid with the whole thing, when they're fighting in the gym, right? Supposedly Sub-Zero, like in the beginning, Sub-Zero freezes the wife and the baby, well, his son. Now all of a sudden he's this high moral, I'ma just kind of freeze the guy's wife and daughter in the ring, and then while he's in the ring, he's punching the ice to try to get her out of the ice. Like, if Sub-Zero's is ruthless,
but by the way, because I stopped the movie, I quit. I didn't even finish that shit. That's how garbage that shit was. So I quit when they fucking wasted Goro. I was like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit.
When the guy,
what are you guys doing? Yeah, I'm like,
but
then this is another. Go ahead.
And then I thought they were gonna, like, he retrieved all the bodies. So who's to say that he's not gonna bring them back? Like, watch some stupid wizardry where they bring them back for the next movie. But go ahead.
I felt like he went back to the fucking well and got some of those people that did the original, especially some of the Luke Kane could have maybe changed. Maybe he could have been a Raiden, right? He could have changed. I always get this guy's name wrong. What's the name of the? I always call him like a fucking beer. Shintao. What's the guy?
Juntao.
What's the main
from Rush Hour? We talking about?
No. The guy in Mortal Kombat. The old guy. What's his name? What's that character's name?
Can't remember.
Fuck, right. So, anyways, this is the problem with a lot of these movies. Rush so quickly to put in all of the guys when you guys could build 6 characters that are dope. Now you nailed out. Now add 2, which is what I was trying to say about Marvel. Marvel got it. Let's see if Iron Man works. If Iron Man works, now we add 1. Then we add 2. Holy shit, we got a couple of guys here. Now we add a whole crew. But everybody, it's a big reason why I hate the X-Men franchise. It was so ready to fucking get Wolverine. Now, granted, Hugh Jackman grew into that character beyond anybody's imagination. But X-Men 1 is garbage. It's garbage. And anybody who fucking argues with me is a total toolbox because that movie's terrible. X-Men 1, X-Men 2, and X-Men 3 are garbage. And X-Men 2, the only reason why it was good is because Hugh Jackman started to fucking act his balls off. Yep. Outside of that, but and so now
I think the issue that we're having now with these movies, these bad movies coming out, why can't you just go out there and get some dope ass directors? Get a decent cast. You know, stop like you want to put all this marketing money behind, all this money behind to CGI and all this dumb shit. Quick,
to interrupt, Banana, Kyle Pitts, Atlanta didn't trade out. Go ahead.
You got these guys. Why not go get my man Ryan Coogler, who did Black Panther? Go get him. Like, yo, listen, I'm gonna give you the blank check. Go get these dope ass actors. Let's get a dope ass storyline. You know, here's the comic books. Here's volume 1 of the comic. Here's volume 2 of the comic. Let's get this right away. I thought Jax was corny. The guy who played Jax. I thought the acting for that was so bad.
My Black American people, Afro-American cats. That was a horrible casting job. Horrible. Exactly. That guy sucked.
Exactly. Sucked. And then you got...
why are you rushing Jax? Why are we rushing this character? This character is not... If you've played the game, you know that he wasn't even in the original Mortal Kombat 2. Because Mortal Kombat 2 is what this whole world is built on. Not Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 1 is like Street Fighter 1. Street Fighter 1 was fucking garbage. What changed the game was Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat 2. And in Mortal Kombat 2, there was no motherfucking Jax. It was these key element...
And I thought Sonya Blade, she was whack too. Like,
she was trash.
She was horrendous.
It was not. How about Luke Kane? I was like, bro, what are you, Yoda? Like, bro, first of all, the soundtrack was fire, the acting was fire, and the special effects were fire in the first one. How did you fuck that up? They basically gave you the sauce. Just rinse and repeat. That's why, for me, to bring in a different element where a lot of people give shit to J.J. Abrams and talk about his version of the first Star Wars, I'm not mad at him. It's not, like, let's say better in the sense of innovation, but it's just as good. He didn't fuck around. Now, Star Wars 2 and 3, that shit was horrible in the new ones.
Yeah.
But that first one, he captured exactly the same essence of the fucking first films. That's all you had to do. Then, okay, on 2 chances. But someone said it was like 30 years or something crazy, bro, since Mortal Kombat has been on TV. Has been on a featured film.
And I fucked that up. I just think, I don't know what's going on with these guys. Like, I don't get it. Like, if you're on set, nobody's like, yo, man, this shit is kind of whack. Like,
but you also got to think about it like this. When they're shooting, because I thought about you the other day, they're only seeing that thing, right?
But I'm saying, and there's like so many in the set, you should be like if
they're like, this is fire. This is fire. Fire. It's fire. And then everybody's like, fire, right?
But supposedly,
right? Like, it's not like if they down and give them like a viewing. And a lot of these actors are so full of shit, they don't even watch the whole movie.
And
they don't even watch the movie.
And then supposedly they signed these guys for like 5 or 6 year contracts because they want to do multiple movies of this. I don't even know how they make a number 2. I really don't even know how it becomes a number 2. I thought the villain was horrible. The Asian dude who was from you know, he's played in The Dark Knight. He was, you know, the Asian dude, and he was just bad too. As a villain, I can't, like, to me, he wasn't a villain. Like, I wasn't like, oh my god, this is a scary dude. Like,
right? He didn't make you believe that you needed to be fearful
of him at all. Like, it made no sense. Like, the entire story was bad, and like, I keep getting these fucking people who keep telling me, "Was like, yo, you wanted everything to be an Oscar award-winning performance or Oscar award-winning movie." I'm like, yo, listen to me. I don't want that. I want a movie that is good, that's entertaining, and it's viable. Like, to me, John Wick is a good movie. Is it an Oscar?
Liking it.
Is it an Oscar movie? No. Is Keanu? Is Keanu? That's what I'm saying. It's a good movie.
Not the best actor, no. But you know what? He does all his stunts. He nails all the scenes. The lighting is great. The editing is great. The writing is great. What they say is fucking great. They get fucking quality actors. The shooting is real. It makes sense.
Exactly.
It's like you're fucking handling Discovery. That's why, to be honest with you, going back to Justice League for a second, that's why I argue that movie is actually decent. Because that is the bar. And everything is below that.
That
because at least That's what I'm saying. The bar is not high. Bro, the fact that we got to reboot everything, dogs. We just did it last week. Fast and Furious 9? Guys, that's it. That's all you guys got. You guys got billions and billions of dollars. You got billions and billions of scripts sitting on shelves. Poor people that probably died writing some great stuff that never was made. You guys only got reboots? That's why, to be honest with you, bro, I got to give a lot of fucking props to Netflix for doing what they do. Because Netflix makes it fucking happen.
They do different shit.
Yes. And they take chances. They let the directors fucking direct.
And I think
imagine that.
What Mortal Kombat should have been a series, TV series. It should have been a dope.
Would have been way better.
Would have been way better. You know, I would have hit some of the people up from Marvel like, yo, listen, I'm trying to do a Mortal Kombat series. What's up? You know, like I thought Jax, the character Jax, it could have been Michael B. Jordan. That would have been a dope ass Jax.
But this is the problem too that I think that these studios are running into. Okay, so was it necessary for Liu Kang to do Flame? What I really enjoyed about the first one, even though as a kid I wanted to see more of the explosions and fires, I thought they did it so well. They probably had like 5 special effects scenes, but they were great. They were able to afford to buy the rest of the guys.
Mm-hmm.
When you do your whole fucking movie in green screen, you know how expensive that is? You got no money left for Michael B. Jordan. You got no money. No money.
And then I was like, why is this nigga with the hat here? Did you get that far? Wait, it's like his cousin.
Yeah, that was Kung Lo. Kung Lo. Okay, Kung Lo's dope. But Kung Lo is fucking Mortal Kombat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He is not in 2. That's what I'm saying. Not in 2. Not even bro, that reptile scene was garbage. I was like, what in the fuck is happening here? What is going on? What are we? Is he Killer Croc or is he Reptile?
And then he fights Shorty real quick that suppose the wizard dude loves or has a fonding for, and he kills her with the thing, and then all of a sudden they kill him in a certain way, and I'm like, what is going on here? What is going on? Like, why is this shit happening? Who is allowed to, like, whoever the movie director is or the exec that approved this project should be fired and never work a day in his life again.
Based on some of the stuff that Warner Brothers has released, firing a lot. I would be firing a lot of people.
A lot.
Shit is garbage. Like, it's crazy to think, in my opinion, that Kong was better than this, and Kong was better than Justice League, but Justice League was better than Mortal Kombat. No. Mortal Kombat is absolute dog shit. There's nothing in that movie that's good.
Bengals draft Jamar Chase.
Woo! Here we go with the reunion, baby.
Yep.
I like it. We give Burrow his guy from college. So far, the NFL is reading the draft exactly the way the last. Well, I don't know if Mel Kiper did it. I think Bucky Brooks probably had it a little bit more dialed. But it looks like it's going chalk, right? Nothing crazy. Atlanta must have not heard anything good enough to trade out. And breaking news: the Atlanta Falcons still think that Matt Ryan can play quarterback.
I think the Dolphins take the offensive tackle, Sewell. I think they're gonna take him to protect Tua.
I've been hearing about him.
I think to protect Tua.
I'm surprised Miami didn't go in trade up to take Pitts.
Yeah, but I think, like we said, all these guys should be fired. I think
fired.
You know what? We have enough time. We could even just do a double whammy of Critic's Corner. Let's just get into it.
Go ahead, I'm ready. Top it up easy.
Kong versus Godzilla was special effects of dog shit.
Wow, you didn't like it? I thought it was dope. If you were fucking tripping on that, would have been fire.
It was so bad. The story was. I'm like,
the story was weak. Was weak.
What is going on? I'm like, all right, okay, you fucking with Godzilla and his feng shui, whatever the fuck you're doing, supposedly. He somehow knows through some sixth sense that you're building a fucking metal robot Godzilla. Now, first of all, the title of the movie was stupid. You had King Kong versus Godzilla. They fight, blah, blah, blah. Then at the end of the movie, spoiler, you have a metal Megazilla, whatever the fuck it's called, I forgot.
It was fire.
And then all of a sudden, now it's King Kong and Godzilla versus Mechzilla. So like,
That's what they should have put the comma verse comma team up verse.
yeah, like it was so dumb. Like, and I feel bad for the girl. The reason why the movie was
who gives a
okay was because they had decent, like I thought the directing was
money. They
exactly
had billions of dollars to buy not only the monster fucking special effects, but to buy Bobby Brown, to buy her, and to buy some decent supporting cast. This whole storyline was the only thing saving that movie.
That's it. That movie was so bad. It was so bad. I'm like, you have this shorty, then you have this deaf girl who fucking loves Kong and can do this and touches his feelings with doing the sign language and all this nonsense. And I'm like, what is going on here? And then you have
Congo, the movie came together.
And then you know what?
Now they were.
Another thing
I am Amy. I am Amy.
Another stupid thing was you brought the villain, the guy who's the villain, the billionaire, whatever, brings the guy in that supposedly understands his theory and the waves of the underground of this whatever nonsense. They went to him to team up with the girl who could speak to Kong because she's on the fucking cover of Time magazine in the movie, the Kong Whisperer, which was fucking dumb. And he played no part. Like it was like he was there for nothing. And then he was only there to do a defibrillator after Godzilla sunned King Kong, and King Kong's about to die because the deaf girl goes out there, touches the ground, his heart is fucking going away, and they do a fucking thing. I just thought it was so bad.
Actor, trash. He was in Tarzan, trash. That fucking.
I didn't even see that movie. That's how I know how bad it was.
Right, trash. Don't worry about it. You didn't fucking miss shit. And then he's in that fucking like vampire show on HBO. More trash. He's just trash wrapped in trash. And you know what's fucks up with these guys? That's the thing too. These guys are like now quarterbacks in the NFL. They sign to these corporations, HBO, Netflix, whatever. And so they got to do movies even though they're not fucking designed to do the movie. Like HBO owns that guy's rights. So even if they can't find somebody, it's like, oh, well, we got to put this dude on the roster because we're paying him. I thought actors were supposed to be 1099s. I rent you. This whole bullshit of signing you multiple things, nah. That's not, I ain't doing that. We're going to sign on a 1 year deal. And guess what happens? When the next one comes out, I'm going to sign another 1 year deal with you. And if it's trash, then I cut you. So I'm not going to be forced to sign 1 year deals with you. The only thing that I will give you, if you want to fucking use it as a talking point, I'll allow you to get any merchandising. But that's at a percentage because I'm making that shit.
Yep. Breaking news, the Dolphins.
Oh, here we go.
Breaking news, the Dolphins draft Jalen Waddle.
I can't believe he jumped. Oh boy, there must be something wrong with Smith. Smith is a baller.
I guess his measurements of being 6 feet.
You know what Josh Booty said? Josh Booty said that a former, I forget what the name of the guy was, but a former defensive cornerback for the Broncos said he's just too light. You're gonna get pushed around in the NFL. You're gonna smoke fools. College dudes in college suck.
Yep.
When you got to go play Stephen Gilmore, that shit ain't gonna rock, son.
Of course not. But finishing up King Kong versus
this is
Godzilla.
Like so HBO right now is just fucking losing money. You know what's so crazy? Speaking about Kong and Mortal Kombat, Kong like destroyed domestic numbers with like 3.5 million over the weekend. That's how horrible things are going right now with COVID. And then Mortal Kombat comes in like 12.5 million, and they dominated the fucking box office.
But I feel like it's only
fired. Nobody's getting fired.
But I feel like they were smart because if you think about it, they didn't release, like, remember Wonder Woman, I think you had to pay for it, if I'm not mistaken, like $20.
No. It wasn't that bullshit that fucking Disney does because Disney is fucking jerks. When you buy HBO Max, you get everything. So you got Wonder Woman, you got Justice League for no additional cost, just the $12.99.
Thank God, because
That
they were
was
all
really
horrible.
great. But great marketing on them, because I don't want to go to the fucking theaters right now. So I'm cool with paying $12.99 to see something trash, and it's HD trash. Which with my eyes, I smoke a little bit of the chronic. I think I'm in the fucking movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm living a dream. So visually, most of these films checked a lot of boxes. I mean, look, you even got Little Things. Like that's a lot of movies.
That
That's
movie was
usually
okay. Like for the most part.
I get that, but what I wouldn't fucking get Disney, because now Disney, you want me to pay $12.99 and you want me to buy the movie?
Yeah,
but suck it, bro. You want me to pay?
But if you think about it, I don't like any of the Disney real life movies. I think they're all bad. I saw Aladdin. That shit was so bad. I saw Lion King.
I don't know. I would take the Lion King at least. That shit. Fucking Aladdin was trash. Why the fuck would you get Will Smith to fucking play the genie? After, and this isn't a white and black thing, okay? But Robin Williams hit like a grand slam twice in one inning, okay, to bring in Tatis Sr. as a reference. Will Smith, that's a lot to ask Will Smith to do. That's a lot. And it's not like it's Will Smith, you know, when he was a teenager, young, and maybe a little bit more thing. Will Smith is kind of set in his ways already.
But
yeah, so it's been poo-poo. It's been poo-poo. But I do so like the fact that at $9, I can enjoy that. Because Amazon, bro, let me tell you something right now. Amazon probably has the best package. You get 2-day shipping, you get free delivery of groceries, and you get movies, and you get music. And with the movies, most of their movies are Oscar winners. And most of their series.
A lot of their shows are good. Like, did you see The Hunters yet? I don't know if you've seen The Hunters with Al Pacino.
That was. It was just. I thought it was dope. It wasn't my cup of tea, but I digged it.
I thought it was a dope show. I think it's underrated. Nobody talks about it. The Boys is another dope ass show.
Yeah, another one. I like the Tom Clancy shit. Yeah, that
Jack
shit is
Ryan,
fire. Jack Ryan.
Them so far, I like them. I like it so far. Them is so far. I'm up to like episode 6 or 7. I think that shit is dope. They just hit.
Ryan does a great job. They spend the money. They're not fucking around. This guy's a fucking juggernaut. Okay.
You got the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. That was dope.
That was great too. I started watching that based on Joe Rogan's recommendation, and I was pleasantly surprised. But bro, tonight, bro, Amazon has been crushing, bro. Been crushing.
Tomorrow you got the Michael B. Jordan shit. Tomorrow comes out, the 30th.
I wish I was gonna get fucking lit for that shit, because that movie I'm gonna be watching that shit on repeat. Agreed.
Yep. It just, I don't know. I really don't know where we're going.
It takes a lot of money to make the movie. That's what we learned. If you're looking at it as an algorithm or an equation, it takes a lot of money. So not only you have to have $300 million for special effects, also need $300 million for acting. And that's what happened with Mortal Kombat, why it failed. Because Mortal Kombat only had 300 special effects. Same thing with fucking King Kong. Justice League will never really get to fully understand, because even if he did 90 or whatever, he wasn't able to encapsulate that moment and shot, even with how he shot it, because even Marvel was still fucking him. He wanted to bring in Ryan Reynolds. That would have been kind of cool to see Reynolds as Green. You know, like it was just Easter eggs. That would have been dope. Even it sucked, right? But again, even with him remaking the movie, they still fucked with him remaking the movie. So that's what I'm saying. Amazon to me and Netflix are the guys that get it and have the kudos and the money. They got it, bro. They're not fucking around.
Yep.
Not fucking around.
So I don't know. I'm to be honest, I am scared that Black Widow's coming out. I think it's gonna be, if I'm not mistaken, they were talking about releasing it on HBO Max. If I'm not mistaken.
No. It's already committed. It's already committed to Disney. They're gonna do what they did with Disney. It's coming out in the summer. So you just get if you got the membership, you gotta pay to watch it.
I'm just scared any movie that comes out on HBO Max it's really not worth seeing. It's, to me,
but they must have known that. They must have known that and said, look, what we'll do is we'll build some equity with our users, and we'll give them all these movies, right? Even if it's bad or good or whatever the fuck, because the next one is In the Heights. And no offense, they got a black guy playing a Dominican or a Puerto Rican. I'm about to fucking jump out of a goddamn window. But that's for another fucking time and argument and discussion. But they said, fuck it, we'll build all this equity, And then next year we could get bigger movies, right? And we could charge $20 because that's where it's trending to. It's trending
But
to
if
20.
they don't charge how the, like Disney, cool, they charge $30, but like all that money is gonna be reinvested back into other dope movies that are gonna come out on the platform.
Yeah, I don't mind reinvesting into Disney, but even Disney just went from $69 to $79. So
For the
everybody's
year.
doing their increment, yes, for the year. I mean, they're obviously the cheaper service, but their movie library is trash. That's why I like HBO Max, because even though HBO Max is trash, I get to watch everything under the DC umbrella. I get to watch everything on the Warner Brothers. I get to watch everything on the Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, right? I get to watch Bill Maher. I get to
True.
watch some of the older TV shows. So like for $12.99, that's a value to me. When I gotta pay $19.99 for Netflix and Netflix only has Netflix shit, I'm like, But I think, like I said, I think Amazon is the best value for the buck. You're getting 4 different services for $100 a month. I mean, $100 a year. There's nothing that could compete with that. That's just unbelievable. And I'm telling you, today, bro, earnings were released. I'm smacking on. Everybody's fucking like, YOLO GameStop, YOLO GameStop. Listen, motherfuckers, YOLO Amazon. That's all you need to invest in. That shit is about to hit $4,000 a share, bro.
And they're supposed to split.
That's crazy.
Soon. They're gonna stock split soon.
Yeah. I'm like, please split that shit. I'll sell half. I'll keep the half. Yeah, more money, more money, more money. But yeah, I'm really impressed with that company. You know, even though to give some credit to Bezos, Bezos' product is flawless. To use a reference.
Breaking news: the Lions take Penei Sewell, the offensive tackle.
Oh, okay. So it's a big deal. So they must think Jared Goff could. Another newsflash: the Detroit Lions think Jared Goff could play football.
It's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be real interesting.
I think the only thing that's interesting for them is that fucking Aaron Rodgers gets out of the division. If Aaron Rodgers does not get out of the division, the Lions, you fucking suck. You can't fucking punch your way out of a wet paper bag. Sorry, I don't give a fuck who you get. You need other. Yeah, thank God you got one guy. You need 21 other dudes, and that's just starters.
All right,
what is this? We're coming. Yep.
So
go.
That's gonna conclude for today. I think I thought this episode was a little spicy.
Yeah. We're getting hot lately.
I appreciate rocking out every week. Everybody, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for us. Hit that notification bell. Show some support. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and what am I missing? TikTok. We're episode 19. I think that's pretty dope. It's just take little by little.
Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Jay. We're chipping away at this motherfucker. We're gonna treat this podcast lifestyle like Shawshank Redemption. It might take us 10 years, but we're gonna hit that shit with the smallest hammer in the world and just keep hitting and hitting and hitting. And we're gonna build more consistency, more follow-up. I want to thank you for always coming through and being ridiculously patient with your guy, because I'm a bit of a psycho, even though I'm not on the drugs and the alcohol anymore. I want to thank everybody for listening, and stay safe, stay healthy.